Alrighty, we are live. Cajun Coin Hunter here, aka Boudreaux. How y'all are today? What's up, Big Red? How you doing? What's crack-a-lackin'? I sent you a link, buddy. I think I did. If not, hold on. Look at here what I got. Super soft flour tortillas. Yeah, we were talking about that in the live stream, that last live stream I was on with Ed, the old tech guy. Let me kiss this link. Man, I thought I sent you one, Red. Let me see. Oh, oh, oh. There that is. All right. There you go, Big Red. Oh, you in bed? You in bed already? John Jacobs, how you doing, mate? Let's see. Me and Ed, the old tech guy, were talking about somebody a while ago. Let's see. All right. Got that. Got that done. Oh, gotta get him in there. Boogity boogity. All right, let me get back in StreamYard. See what Anna, I'm crazy. How you doing? Coin Crew Thug, what's going on? How you doing? You hunting some pennies, huh? Miss Mercer, how you doing, Miss Mercer? Let's see. Well, get back here. I'm not quite set up yet. I thought I was earlier, but pop that out. Gotta get this up in here. Gotta keep an eye on the YouTube side while I'm on the StreamYard side. Excuse me just 1 minute. Live chat. Alright, I think we got it right here. There we go. We got it. I've been good, Miss Mercy. Thank you very much. I've been good. Henry, how you doing? I hadn't seen you in a while in my panels. Thank you, Coin Crew Thug, for the thumbs up and telling everybody. My last, okay, let me go up here. Uh, David Carlisle's in the house. What's going on, David? Uh, Henry, Jacob, Anna, or for Shane. Uncle and the nieces? Oh, wait a minute. Uh, I thought it was. I did not know that Shane was in the hospital. That's news to me. Uh, I do know Uncle Al. Oldies and goodies. Uncle Al, Nunk Al. I knew he was in the hospital. I did not know that Shane was in the hospital. I did not know that. MRSA is very bad. Well, either way, it's a scam. Right. Yeah, I found out tonight Shane is in ICU with MRSA. I'm not familiar with MRSA. Y'all enlighten me on that. I sure did not know that. Man, I tell you what, there's a lot of people in the coin community that's been, a lot of stuff's been happening, put it that way. Uh, like me, back in March, in the whole month of March, I was in the hospital, and with very concerned people. So, Ed, the old tech guy, what's going on, Mon ami? How you doing?
Hey everybody, it's Ed the old tech guy, and I'm streaming again after my stream. Isn't that crazy? How's everybody tonight?
MRSA is a staph infection. What do you know about MRSA, Ed?
MRSA? Are you talking about MRSA, the flesh-eating disease that like eats you alive? Oh no, I don't want to talk about that. That's nasty.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat dinner. I haven't eaten dinner for my. You do you mind if I eat dinner on your show? I'm gonna eat.
No, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to disrespect your all show. I just
no. Miss Terry Mercer said MRSA is pronounced MRSA.
Yeah, MRSA.
So,
That's what eats you. That's what eats you alive.
okay,
I'm scared of that stuff.
Well, isn't that something like with a brown recluse when they bite you? A brown recluse bites you, and then your flesh, it's a flesh eating bacteria. They're not poisonous like a black widow, which kills you. But a brown recluse, their venom is and you lose a whole arm. Okay,
Yeah, no,
and then there's all this other stuff, from a salt water and a freshwater
I
bacteria that will eat your skin up and all that.
so I don't know if you can catch MRSA from animal like bite like that. I don't know. I'm just not knowledgeable in that way. But
Yeah.
I do know you can catch MRSA like even in hospitals after they do an operation from you. Like if there's MRSA in the room and you catch it and it'll start eating you all up. It's a very scary, nasty thing. I think it's bacterial based, and there's nothing that'll stop it once it starts. It's scary as hell. It is one of my wife's like scariest nightmares. MRSA, because it's difficult to treat. It may not be treated, and it'll eat half your body by the time it's done. I ain't messing with that stuff. I'm scared of it.
Yeah. Well, that's close to what a brown recluse put in you. Bacterial infection. Yeah. Okay. Henry. Okay. I'm going back in chat here. John Jacobs. He said, "Hello, Ed, old tech guy. How you doing?"
Hey, how you doing?
Jack Gallman. What's going on? And I know Jack Gallman. He's from Marion, North Carolina. Henry, we just call him Henry Von. Henry Von. Okay.
Henry Von. Henry Von Doom.
Let's see. Okay, Big Red. Yeah, my mon ami from up in the Great White North, Canada. Big Red Bullion. Uh, he's had problems with YouTube on. He's been on YouTube in the coin community and the silver pouring, gold pouring. He
Mm-hmm.
makes molds and stuff. He's been doing it for years and years,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he's in the coin community doing that. But his name was Big Red. Uh, Big Red. Big Red. He's had quite a few names. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, like Redneck Stacker. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that was his original name, Redneck Stacker. YouTube gave him a big issue about it, so now he calls himself Big Red Bullion. He had
Mm-hmm.
other names, Big Red or Redneck with the reverse E's on them, like a
Mm-hmm.
three.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he's been over here. Hey, if you have like a Star Wars, if you like Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
a character or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you tell him what you need, and he'll pour you one in silver.
No, no. Now we're
Yeah,
talking. Now we're talking. I guess.
yeah, oh
I
yeah,
guess. I
big.
guess you haven't seen right there. Look at that. I got all kinds of Star Wars and Batman and superhero
Yeah,
stuff.
well, I saw
Yeah.
that earlier in the light when I was on panel tonight. I saw that
Mm-hmm.
earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's
Oh
where I'm
man.
getting that from. Yeah, Big Red can pour you anything you want, what size you want, in silver. Send him your silver, or he'll supply the silver and charge you, according to prices, and then couple of dollars for pouring it.
Big Red, send me an email to edtheoldtechguy@yahoo.com and let me get your contact info. I got something a few things I may want you to pour for me just so I can have on the channel. So when
There
I
you go.
talk, they're kind of around, you know, my logo would be cool. Or my name, Ed the Old Tech Guy. That's a long name, but
Yeah.
something
Oh,
like that would be cool.
he can do it. Hey, type something in chat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That way, I think you are a moderator already. I'm not sure, but
Let's see.
just say, hey, everybody, or hey, all, and that's good.
You got it.
Bigfoot, Silver, Hide and Seeker. What's up, mon ami? Tex Guy, 790. What's happening, mon ami? Okay, we got John Jacobs up in it. Steel Wool Queen. How you doing, child? Been all right? It causes amputations. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
believe it. It
MRSA.
causes,
MRSA does
yeah.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's what that Vibrio does. That saltwater, freshwater. Like, say, if you catch a catfish, okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and saltwater or freshwater variety catfish, and it sticks you, and if that bacteria is in there, that Vibrio, that's a nickname, Vibrio. It's
Mm-hmm.
Vibrio something. Yeah, yeah, you can lose your arm in 2 days. 2 days. That's all it
Mm-hmm.
takes.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it takes. And a brown recluse takes a little longer, but brown recluse has one of those flesh-eating bacteria in it.
Yeah, I ain't messing around with none of that stuff, man. That's what scares me. I don't mess around with none of that.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Luke Duke Outdoors. What's happening, bud? Okay. Well, there you go. It.
Yep. I shot over my email address on there and shot over
Yeah.
some info.
You're
That'd be
probably
cool.
gonna have to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I just made you a moderator, so I don't know if that one's gonna show up or not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hey, Big Red's a good guy. You know, like I said, he's up in Canada. I've been knowing Red for I don't know, 3 or 4 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good guy. Hey, he made a whole silver chess set. Chess set. Oh, everything out of silver. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Dude, a whole chess set of Star Wars characters, but all in silver.
Star Wars characters. Oh, hey, Big Red. Yeah, that's something to think about.
Can you
And
like do they have to be pure silver? I mean, can they be dirty silver so I don't have to pay so much? But like, that would be so cool.
he doesn't mess in dirty silver well, I'm not calling dirty silver like 90% American
Mm-hmm.
coinage,
Mm-hmm.
like your
Mm-hmm.
old Morgan dollars and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
if you send him enough silver, 90% silver and stuff like that, yeah, he can melt your stuff down. And
Well,
but it would take him a long time to engrave the Star Wars characters in that,
mm-hmm.
you know.
Now I gotta say, I'm a big coin virgin here, so I don't know much about coins. That's new to me.
Yeah, but
Um,
you like the silver though.
oh, I like silver. I like gold. I like white gold. I
Hmm.
like all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
wish
I
I
like
knew.
white gold too. Yeah.
I just wish I knew more about it. I know there's a big move to move um liquid assets to precious metals right now because of what's happened in the economy. It's a smart move to do. I
It is.
just
Yeah.
I just don't know what to do with it, and I've never
Uh,
been a big coin guy, so I'm learning a lot from watching your channels right now. I don't know a lot about that stuff, guys. So you'll
well,
have to forgive me if I say something wrong.
if you want to invest in silver, the smart way I think to go about it would be constitution of silver. Silver dimes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
silver dimes, quarters, half dollars, Morgan dollars, something like that. Or you can just invest in rounds, silver rounds or bars, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have, because you're in the United States, uh,
Mm-hmm.
best way to do it would just be into coinage. Because if something like the uh, whatever hits the fan,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
you'll have a dime, a silver dime. Okay, that's 90% silver. If you have 100-ounce silver bar, 100-ounce silver bar, and you want to buy a loaf of bread,
Mm-hmm.
how's that guy going to give you change for that? You know, you can
That's
give him
true.
a silver dime or a
That's true.
quarter, and then you got your loaf of bread, or buying some ammo, some pew pew ammo or whatever.
So here's my problem with buying precious metals. I've always wanted to get into it, but how do you know you're really getting precious metals for the right price? Like, how do you know it's fair? And how do you know it's real gold or real silver or real white gold or real platinum? Because a lot of
Well,
shady people out there.
you have to have test kits. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you have to have the stones and the liquid, the stone and the liquid.
Mm. Do you show that
So,
on your channel? Is there a video I can watch to catch
uh,
up?
no, I don't have the stone and the liquids on my channel. How to test gold, silver, and all that. But there's plenty other channels that have it in the coin community.
Well, we're gonna
Uh,
say we're gonna encourage them, right, guys? Let's encourage them. Say you had
yeah.
Ed, the old tech guy, who's a new guy. Let's teach the new guys how to get into coin collecting and or precious metals because I don't trust a lot of YouTubers out there. Now I trust Cajun because I know Cajun, but I don't know them other people. So if I see it on them other people, I ain't gonna trust them because I don't know them.
Well,
But
I'll tell you what. Anybody
mm-hmm,
that you will get an email from
mm-hmm,
on this from me, yeah,
mm-hmm,
they
mm-hmm.
can be trusted. All right.
Okay.
Bon nuit, Miss Terry, Miss Mercer. Bon nuit. Good night. Uh,
Buenas noches. Buenas noches.
yep, that too. Let me see. Did you put your email back up in there?
Mm-hmm.
You did.
I
I
did.
don't
I'll do it
see it.
again real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
There you go. I just did it again.
All right. Yep. Okay. There we go. Bigfoot Silver Hide and Seeker said, I am sick of all the U.S. Mint always change the so-called game plan. Yeah. Well, I think I know what he's talking about on that one right there. Yesterday or today, they had the 2021 Silver Eagle with the reverse design on it and all that, and everybody's trying to get it at the same time. You know, well, I'm into coin collecting big time. You know, saving silver and this and that and the other, but I'm not gonna beat myself in the head to go buy something for $80 that maybe might go down, which I know it's not going to go down, but maybe it might go down later. And you know, okay, silver's I think it's $26 or $27 an ounce right now, and they want I think $80 for this coin because it's the new thing that just came out. You know, I mean, I wouldn't mind having one of the CC, you know, CC coins like Paula Bloom, and then we're talking about a couple of years ago when CC, the Carson City Mint, came out with that seated Liberty. Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't mind that at all. You know, that's a piece of history right there. Which the new reverse design on the American Silver Eagle coin, that's new, but it doesn't impress me. And we were talking about that last night, me and Paula, and last night was the coin Q&A. So,
so somebody new off the street, like me, I'm blank. Consider me a blank canvas. Where would I start? Where do I start kind of collecting a decent coin? What silver, gold, whatever, but you know, it could be copper. I don't care.
Oh, hey, Clay 37. I didn't see him in here. 710's in here. Where's Clay 37? Must be up there. Must have missed him. Oh, because I was way up in chat. Okay, I'll let the chat tell you what to get, and then I'll put in my opinion.
So Bigfoot Silver says, "What do you like?"
Yeah.
So here's the point. I'm a blank canvas. I don't know what. Excuse me. I'm eating. I just came off a long live stream, so I'm trying to catch up. So Bigfoot says, "What do you like?" I don't know what I like.
Like you said, you are a blank canvas ready to be painted.
The only thing I would say is I'm very careful with my money. I double, triple, quadruple think before I invest in anything. And I already have investments in stocks and bonds and stuff. Now I want to invest in precious metals. I just don't know how to go about it. And that's why I haven't done it. And you could go to a pawn shop and start buying stuff, and then you find out you overpaid and you're actually in a negative. How do I make money on my money and buy the right things? That's where I want to start. What's the first coin I should start buying that makes sense, that you know it's going to go up? Some people have talked about the Chinese based coins that have the square in them that are all copper. That there's thousands of them out there. There's tons of them out there.
No, none of that. None of that.
But because it's copper, it's going to go up, is what people are saying, and I don't believe that. I don't know. I don't know anything. So
the only Chinese coins you want to buy or what have you are the pandas. The panda coins. Okay, in slabs. Okay, if you go to a coin show, coin trade show, or a gun show, you know they're gonna have a few coin tables at a gun show, and get start off with the pandas if you can get them cheap enough. Pandas go up every
Mm.
year. But you said start a set of coins or something with kids.
Yeah,
With your kids or your
um,
nieces and nephews, something like that.
yeah, maybe.
No copper though. No Bigfoot, no copper. I agree with Bigfoot.
Now, so John Jacob says, look first and see what you like.
Yeah.
I like money. I like money, and I like my money to go up. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for something that's going to grow in value, right? That's all I'm looking for. And I could buy a diamond. I could buy this or that, and you never know. Uh, trying to think of like a name brand. Like if you buy a Versace ring that's gold, it just has a name. Who cares? If that name ever goes away, that ring is going to drop in value. I'm looking for something, to start out with. That'll get me started in the hobby. I like Henry von Moog said, Moog. I hope I'm saying your name right. If I'm butchering it, I apologize. He says platinum. I like platinum. I like the white gold look. I know platinum is big time, but is there a coin or is there a bar I should look into that I could just buy and go from there?
Yeah. Platinum, but platinum used to be more expensive than gold years
Mm-hmm.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
Platinum used to be more. Now palladium already took over. Okay, palladium is way more expensive than gold.
Mm.
Yeah, and platinum used to be worth more than gold back in the '80s. I remember that well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But now platinum is like $200 below gold
Huh.
per ounce price, something
That's
like that.
crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Well, rhodium. Okay, yeah, but you're not gonna get a coin made out of rhodium. Andrew O'Neill, Black Cloud Mining. What's going on, Mon Ami?
Mm.
He likes gold because he has a gold claim over
Ha.
in Arizona. He's got several gold claims over there. He's a miner, prospector.
Now I remember that they used to say that gold was where it was at and you needed to invest when I was a kid. And then gold fell, right? And there wasn't a lot of I don't understand how. And I'll give you a perfect example. When I was a kid, diamonds were a big thing. So I like to buy my wife diamonds because it's kind of an investment, and she likes them. Not that shit. That's not her favorite thing, and it's not what I always get her. But I know that when I buy my wife a diamond, it's kind of like a double thing where she has it, it grows in value. But then I found out that that diamonds are really just a dime a dozen. There's actually a surplus of diamonds, but people, these big companies are actually keeping the diamond amount low or seemingly low so that the cost stays up. But there's really a surplus of diamonds hidden in many banks or places where people who deal in diamonds have. So that's why I feel kind of a little beat up that like, wow, I've invested in diamonds thinking, yes, my wife likes them, but at the same time, it's an investment for the family because if we ever grow to hunger one day, you can sell that diamond. But it may not be worth as much when people find out there's a surplus. Right. So am I going to run into the same thing am I going to run into the same thing with metals? And what metal am I not going to run into that? I'm trying to figure out like what's the one to go with, right? Like you just mentioned platinum. I would have thought platinum was a great idea. Come to find out, you're saying it just got beat up by palladium. Is regular yellow gold the best way to start with? Or am I going to find out tomorrow they have a big old, gold mine that there's tons of gold, it's flood the market, too bad. I don't know. Again, I'm a novice, complete novice, guys. So have at it in the comments. You can beat me up if you like. It's okay. I don't mind. I don't know what I don't know. But I'd like to get into it. And if you're going to ask me what I kind of like, I don't know much about American coins and things of that nature. I'll start thinking of like some cool coins that have like some comic book stuff or Star Wars stuff or Mickey Mouse coins. I've seen that stuff, but is that fake stuff? Is that garbage or is that worth it?
Look what Zaphael put.
I saw that. I was invited, Zaphiel, and I'm eating dinner while I'm doing this. So I missed dinner with
Don't you work.
I missed dinner with the family, so I'm hanging out with my raging Cajun buddy here while I eat dinner real quick, so I don't eat alone. Because eating alone is a sin, right? Is that the same thing in the French community? But us Hispanics, we don't. Eating alone is kind of like a punishment. We don't like to eat alone.
No, not really. Times have changed over the last 100 years. Where you sat down at the dinner table to eat with your family and stuff, but not today's different. I eat when I finish my live stream or I eat during my live stream. Stuff like that's changed over the last 100 years, or 50 years, I should say.
In my family, we usually don't eat alone. It's kind of the opposite. We know Tuesdays, I usually don't eat with them. But
break bread. That's right, Bigfoot. Yeah, you break bread with the family.
That's right. We have that as a custom in my house, but usually not on Tuesdays because I live stream and one or two other days because somebody works. But for the most part, every other day, like we're always sitting down as a family, try to have dinner, shut off the phones, no TV, and just eat dinner.
Right. Oh yeah. Gold is where Mother Nature has placed it, and that follows rules of physics.
Okay.
So, and that's why it's so hard to find, too. Silver, Ed, I'm going to tell you, silver, and I would do either generic rounds, generic 1 ounce rounds. No monetary value, no date on it, just a generic round, plain Jane round with Indian head on one side and the buffalo on the other side. Like those buffalo nickels. Okay. Well, those aren't silver, but they do make the 1 ounce rounds. Okay. And you can get those at sometimes spot price. Okay. But if you can get like the dimes, quarters, half dollars, you get those. If the shit hits the fan one of these days, okay, you have a dime. You can trade that for 3 loaves of bread, okay, because it's worth $2. Well, it's going to be worth more than that once what I said earlier. Okay. You got to trade something for ammo, food, or whatever. It depends on your situation. If you're a big time gardener and you have a lot of canned foods, jarred foods like fig preserves, green beans, snap peas, whatever that you got in your pantry. And if you got 5,000 jars of food, but you don't let nobody know that because, you're going to have a gun to protect your pantry, your basement or whatever. But, yeah, war nickels are silver, 35% silver.
So Steel Wool Queen says we do family dinner every night. Very good. That's commendable. Very good job. We try to in my house. We do our best to do that. But she says I'm guessing it's a she since it's Queen at the end. But
right.
Lunch and breakfast.
Yeah, it's a lady. Yeah.
But lunch and breakfast on my own. Yes, same here. I do lunch, breakfast. Sometimes I do breakfast with my wife, and that's a blessing when I get to do that. I love doing that. Sometimes I don't get to do that, and that's okay. I'm okay with it. But dinners I like to have with my family. Safiel says, also don't forget that they've been mining gold for the history of mankind. It's very unlikely that they'll increase worldwide supply because some big mine was discovered. Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I'm you know, I hear a lot. I hear a lot, and I want to diversify my funds in an intelligent way. So Cajun had a great thought there. I can probably start buying the silver pellets and
Yeah,
just
you
start
can do
stacking.
the pellets. Yeah, silver
Start saving
pellets
some silver
or
pellets.
generic rounds. Like a 1 ounce coin, or by the little 1 gram bars, the
Mm-hmm.
little 1 gram bars,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get them in a sheet of 100. Okay.
Yeah, and one of the guys here, I don't know who it was. I think it was Bigfoot. I'm sorry if I didn't say it right, but one of the guys said that silver has more than just monetary value uses, and it's true because I remember that pirates of old used to put silver in milk to maintain the bacteria at bay and allow milk to last longer on the ships, and certain foods wouldn't spoil because they would line it with silver, and that
I
was
did
a
not
thing.
know that.
Mm-hmm,
Wow.
mm-hmm. Yeah, people that believe in homeopathic medicine will start taking colloidal silver and or try to cure things with certain silver by rubbing it on the skin or having it upon you, and it's been a thing. Now, whether it's true and it works, I don't know. Now, Andrew O'Neill, Black Cloud Mining, says, "Yep, silver is antibacterial." So there is something to that. How to use that, I'm ignorant to. So feel free to put it in the comments, guys. About sounds like Cajun wants to know about it too.
Well, yeah. And I do know about gold dust. Okay. Real fine gold dust. Back in the Egyptian days, uh, gold dust was sprinkled on the Egyptians' food,
Hmm.
and it had to do with making your digestive system better and stomach health. You know, stomach health, and that was gold dust. And you can go in like Dubai, the what is that? The United Arabs Emirates,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you can buy gold dust, and or you can buy fried chicken, like what we call buffalo wings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In America now, buffalo wings.
Mm-hmm.
You can get little chicken wings, drumettes or whatever, sprinkled with gold dust.
Hmm.
Supposed to help your digestive system. Yeah.
Oh, somebody here, Bigfoot mentions that be careful if you drink too much of that colloidal silver, it'll turn your blue, and it's true.
Oh, yeah.
There was a there's a famous personality that went on the Oprah show or one of those shows, and his skin was completely blue, and even when he teared, he was tearing silver. It was like this weird phenomenon. But to that point, I would say I'm going to tell you guys. I know this because I tried colloidal silver um, to try to heal certain infections, and actually, I started. I hope this isn't gross. I apologize, but I started urinating blood. I freaked out, and come to find out that my outside of my skin is not allergic to silver, but my innards are. They don't like it. I don't know if I used too much of it, but I used the dosage as it was specified on the colloidal silver, and I got a little
Okay.
scared. I
I've
got
heard of
scared of it.
that. I've heard of that.
Hmm.
In fact, most of us in the coin community, yeah. Zaphael said, I'm going to disagree with Cajun about buying those bars that you break up into small pieces. I recommend just cutting pieces off of a 1 ounce coin or bar if you need to.
Hmm.
Which, okay, Zaphael, I can agree with you on that. Okay, I can. But Bradley Hyde, no Bradley, how you doing with a $2 super sticker? What's going on? No, and Bradley Hyde is another poorer silver or whatever. It doesn't matter what. If it's meltable, he'll pour it. Okay.
Ooh,
Oh yeah. Gold,
aluminum,
silver,
aluminum.
aluminum. Yeah, he'll melt
Ooh.
aluminum. Oh yeah, he does all kind of stuff. He's one of the godfathers in the pouring community. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's over there in Arizona. He's in Vegas. I mean, Vegas, not Arizona, Vegas. Okay. Let me get back to that about the Zephael.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's one reason why I don't buy like the silver 100-ounce bars or 10-ounce bars or whatever. I want something that I can give for a loaf of bread or whatever. Okay, it doesn't have to be the little 1 gram bars. Okay, you buy a sheet of 100 grams. Yeah, you're gonna pay a premium on that. You will. You're gonna pay a premium. That's why I like the dimes, quarters, half dollars, and the market dollars. Because if you run out of your quarters, silver quarters, and you want to trade barter for something, you can take that market dollar and you can take a pair of snips and you can just snip off what what's needed, and then somebody's going to have a scale. Okay, they're going to weigh that and to make sure they're getting the right amount of silver.
Yeah, I would hate. I'll be honest with you. I would hate to be walking around with any amount of silver you're going to sit there and cut up or break up. And I'd like to have it in small amounts, because let's say we do hit that time frame. And before you guys say we haven't seen this, we have seen this in World War II. The Jewish community started to barter, because as the Germans took over and started to restrain resources, the Jewish community started to barter in this way. And imagine walking around with a coin purse full of coins, silver coins, and somebody comes and bops you over the head and takes it away. Or you get caught up by a soldier, says, "Give me that," right? You've just lost everything. So I like something that can be broken down into small pieces and only carry a small amount of those pieces. So like you're
Right.
talking about, Cajun. So maybe I have some dollars and I have some dimes and I have some nickels, and I know I'm going to go get some bread. Maybe I only carry 5 nickels with me and leave my dollars and my dimes in a safe place, wherever my safe haven was. That way, if somebody else who's hungry beats me over the head, or a soldier beats me over the head. Again, I'm only comparing it to history, and don't take this the wrong way, guys. Don't we don't need no Karens having a heart attack over what I'm saying.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
We've seen it in
I'll be
history.
right back. I'll be right back. Keep on talking.
Okay, we've seen it in history. We got to be very careful of like how you're going to be walking around with whatever you're carrying, right? So I don't know. I like something that could be broken down and has an idea of monetary value. So a dime has an idea of monetary value, and you can look up in a book and say, this is a silver dime. It's worth actually $2 versus a dime. And you even though whatever is happening at that moment, before the stuff happened, before the crap hit the fan, there was an idea of what that was worth. So you can use that. When you have a bar of gold or a bar of silver and you're just chopping a piece off, most likely most people are going to be like, I don't have a scale. Give me the whole bar. Give me the whole bar. We don't got time for this. Soldiers are coming. Bad people are coming. Whatever it is, right? They're coming. Also, you want to kind of hide that stuff too, don't you? How do you hide it easily? You'd start talking about a big bar of gold. Let's say it's like this big and that, that thick, 2 inches thick and that big. Where are you hiding that thing? I don't know. And again, I'm not a person that believes that, and I'm not one of these guys that wears foil on their head or anything like that, but you got to be careful. You got to start thinking about that stuff. If that's really what you're planning for, how far will stuff go into? Bigfoot says, Ed the Oteka, you don't sound like a rookie prepper to me. I am a rookie prepper. I don't know what to start prepping in. I actually recently started asking my wife to start saving rice and beans because we buy lots of rice and beans because we cook lots of rice and beans. Being from a Mexican culture, we I mean, we love to eat that. But I found out that is a very good food to prep with. So I've been asking my wife to just buy extra and let's just seal it. And I've been learning a little bit on sealing it. And I'm in a big city, so I've got no bug out plan yet or anything like that. But I'd like to. I'd like to get that. My next thing is, how do I start prepping from a monetary perspective for some of that bad stuff that's coming? Because it's coming. In my idea and how I see things, it's coming because you see how the economy is going, inflation is going up. You see the housing bubble. It just makes so much. How do you not see the housing bubble that's happening? You can't buy a house right now because they're all for sale and people are paying 10 times above price. That makes no sense. That means that there's a bubble happening. And how do you prep for that? I don't know. Coin Crew Thug says, would like a gift you a Azteca bar 9995 silver. I'd love that. I'd love Azteca silver. I actually want I was thinking about getting into like Mexican silver, because I know one thing for sure. Mexico, for as poor as many of the people are, makes no sense when it's sitting on hundreds of thousands of millions of thousands of gallons of oil and silver and gold. And I know that Mexico, one of the things they sell a lot is silver. When you go to the markets and stuff, they have that. I love silver. We used to wear silver a lot, but now I'm trying to come up with plans, guys. So I don't know. I'm really new to this, and I just met Cajun the other day, and I was like, man, dude, you're into something that I don't know nothing about, and I'm starting to learn.
No, you met me about 2 months ago on
No,
Brandon's channel.
we did. That's what I'm saying. We recently met.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's I don't know much about like what the whole coin collecting thing is.
Aztec bar. Okay, Missy was trying to show me something in chat. She's like, please see my last comment, and I don't see it. I guess I don't know if it's coin thug, because I think coin crew thug. Okay, do you see his email?
I do.
Okay, all right, there it is. Yeah, I showed it. And yeah, he's Hispanic.
Cool.
Coin crew thug.
Muchas gracias, te lo aprecio. Yeah, I'll email you right now. Again, I'm a real novice to this stuff, and
Hi, Bigfoot.
Let's see here. Oh, he says, yo soy Hispanic como tú. Yeah, yo también soy hispano. Muchas gracias, te lo aprecio demasiado. Gracias que me des la.
Hey, Alexander Schmidt, how you doing, Alexander? Alexander's in Scotland, by the way. He's in the coin community and the small engine community.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So Steel Wool Queen says, Edioltec, if you do coin roll hunting for silver, nickels, dimes and quarters, or $50, you return the non-silver, keep the silver, and there's no money loss. I get that, but you know what happened? You know what happened? When I started thinking about doing that, and I started recently watching Cajun here, COVID happened, and you can't get no coins nowhere.
You can now.
You can
now. Yeah.
Wait, so here where I am in the Midwest, you can't find them. Their stores are telling you, don't get in line for a to purchase an item if you're paying with cash. We're only taking credit cards
because they don't have the change.
They don't have change, and it says it right there. No change. Everything hip hop. What's happening, man? How you doing? I'm new to this community, guys. So
hey, everything hip hop. How you doing?
Yeah,
No, you can go to the banks and you can get the half-dollar boxes
hmm
of circulated half dollars. You know, the one that's been circulated, not the new ones. And there's a long story behind that on getting boxes of 50-cent pieces, half dollars now. Uh, that was all NIFCs, NIFCs at one time. And now everybody in the YouTube community, the coin community, these guys that are searching to have dollar boxes, okay, for silver. Well, I guess the mint is like, all right, the popularity of half dollars are back up again. We're just going to mint a bunch instead of 500,000 a year. We're going to do 5 million a year. You know, and then
hmm
all these half dollar coin roll hunters are getting
hmm
brand new boxes of, and this has been going on since 2018,
mm
19, 2020, 2021. The mint has actually started putting that out at banks, at the
mm
banks, you know, for
mm
general circulation. They were thinking that, I guess, the uh, casinos are using them more. No, everybody was buying boxes of half dollars to look for silver, and then they were turning them back into the bank. So,
Oh, I just noticed my name is Ed the Old Tech Who. It's actually Ed the Old Tech Guy, guys. I'm sorry. I got to change that. How do I change it here? I don't think I. Oh wait, hold on. I think I.
go into
Here you go. Edit
the
name. There you go.
the three dots. Yeah, there you go.
This was off my last live stream, guys. So that's why it's wrong.
Yeah. Well, type
That's fine.
something in the chat, and they know exactly who you are right there. Also, they can look up your name too. They can copy
hmm
your name in the chat,
hmm
and then they can paste it in the YouTube
mm
part or Google that name channel, Ed the Old Tech Guy channel, YouTube channel, and boom, they got it. I tell you what, guys, Ed the Old Tech Guy, he does a Tuesday night stream called the Three Tooges. Instead of the Three Stooges, it's the Tooges. Just you know, reversed. You know, it's a anagram of the Stooges. It's the Tooges. Yeah, I don't know if he realized that or not, but it's an anagram. You know, a jumble of the Three Stooges. It's the Tooges. Okay.
I appreciate that. Thanks, man. We talk about tools, tech, DIY, sometimes comics in a very comedic way that is supposed to be taken completely in comedy, not
Uh-huh.
not serious. So if Karen gets angry at us, she can't get mad. We set up front. This is pure comedy. Now
Yeah, that's right.
everything hip hop is asking, hey, does anyone know about Windows? Sorry, off topic. If you're talking about Windows, the type of Windows that you install on a computer, I actually happen to know quite a bit. And he says, you are the only tech support stream that I came up. Are you talking about, again, if you're talking about Windows for your house, I may be able to help a very little. But if you're talking about Windows for your computer, I can help. Zafiel can help. Zafiel is a very well-known person in the community that knows a lot about IT.
Okay. Show off your shirt here. Show
Oh,
your shirt off.
ta-da! Now, guys,
There you go.
a lot. I am technically an engineer, but a lot of people will beat me up because they think I'm showing off. Actually, this is a joke. My family got this shirt for me as a joke, and I started putting it in my videos as a joke. It was all supposed to be a joke, and people that know me and have gotten to know me get that it's a joke because engineers are these people that are supposed to know everything, but we don't know much. We only know a good amount about a specific subject, and it's only a subset of that subject. Everything else we're pretty much clueless about, and we're taught to think like engineers, so we only know how to think in that subsection of that subject in a certain manner. and we try to take that thinking into other subjects, and we're completely lost. So don't this is not me showing off by any means. Engineers are not. We're very bright in a very specific subset of a subject, and even then we're a bunch of dummies sometimes. So I love my engineer brethren, but we got to recognize that we're not always the sharpest tools in the box. So
Bradley Height, yes, I did know that, and I will announce it again. Just to let everyone know, Shane from Uncle and Denise's is in ICU.
oh,
So prayers are going up for our brother. He's a fellow gardener and outdoorsman and coin guy. So yeah, and I did. I know about Uncle Al too. Oldies and goodies. I know about Uncle Al. Everybody calls him Uncle Al. And I'm pretty sure that's who we were talking about 2 nights ago. But Uncle Al's in there, which I believe that. And then now the uncle and the nieces, Shane, is in there. So everybody, please, all right, appreciate that, y'all. GS Prospecting, how you doing, Mo?
I'm gonna take a quick guess at everything hip hop's issues here. So very quickly, I would say your first mention that you have Windows 10 and that when you're doing updates to your computer, that your PC cycles up to 70C and so does your GPU or higher than that. Most laptops get really clogged with dust, and or if it's older than 2 years, you may consider redoing the thermal paste on the GPU and the CPU because they usually dry out and or were incorrectly applied at the factory. That happens a lot. So make sure you take apart your laptop, clean it out, make sure there's no dust in it. And if you could take apart the heatsink and put that thermal paste and put it all back on, you may see a change. If you don't see a change, then check with your hardware manufacturer. You've got something going on with your hardware. It could be sometimes what I've seen is some users don't like the proprietary HP or Dell or other specific manufacturer tools that control the how their processor ramps up and their GPU ramps up to provide more power. It produces more heat, and or sometimes those tools actually fail and cause your systems to ramp up. So you have to decide whether you delete that tool or keep that tool. That's unfortunately not an easy thing to solve. I would start with cleaning it and putting thermal paste. Yeah, what is that? Silver, pure silver thermal paste?
Thermal paste.
Yep.
It's not pure silver. It's I forgot. I had that, and I ordered 2 more tubes of it from my electronic supply house because I deal with a lot of transistors, and it requires that thermal paste. Yeah. And I think this is new old stock right here. NOS, new old stock. But I think it was like $2 for that little bitty thing. So,
Yeah.
but anyhow, yeah, if you deal, because I deal in electronics, so.
Me too. I wish I could give you a pan in my room. I got a couple servers on the ground right now. I've got all kinds of stuff going on in my house right now. But everything hip hop says no, but it's fine now. Temps are normal, so it's not my hardware. It's just going crazy when Windows Update starts doing things. It uses 10 megabits of disk space, making it 100% usage. I don't know what GPU I have, but my laptop is a Lenovo IdeaPad 320 RAM AMD A10. Well, AMD A10. I agree. I have to agree with Zafiel on this one. I would absolutely try taking a secondary. Go buy yourself an SSD. It probably comes with an SSD, and it may come with an M.2 SSD on that laptop. Unless it's all soldered together. If you could replace that and reload Windows on a fresh one, and see if you're still getting the issue, that would answer a lot. If you don't want to go through the expense, if you can back up your data and then reload Windows, just like Zafiel mentioned, that is a very honest troubleshooting step that should be taken. It could be anything from spyware, malware, and or a driver that just didn't act well, and or even
Zafiel just put something in there too while you were talking.
Sure, yeah.
He did,
and he's right on. He said it earlier in the chat saying reload Windows 10. So I'll give him straight props for that. I usually go for the hardware. I go for the hardware check first, which is clean the dust, make sure everything is all clean and it's got brand new thermal paste on. And if that's all clean, then I would jump over to a full reload of Windows, like Zafiel said.
You know, I got an email from HP, whatever, that Windows 11 is out, but I'm not about to put Windows 11 on this laptop right here.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not. I'm not.
Don't do that. No. Windows 11 right now is on test, and I would not
beta.
It's straight up beta, and I would not allow any of my clients to jump over to Windows 11 right now. You run Windows 10 for at least another year or two before. Let everybody else choke on the issues. You got some YouTubers that are going around saying, I'm a beta tester. I'll be honest with you. Anybody can be a beta tester. You can run right now and download Windows 11 to any PC you want, as long as it has the hardware that can handle it, and be a beta tester. Beta testers get all the headaches. They're basically having you test it for free to tell them what's wrong with it. Why? If you've got a busy life and you got things to do, stay on Windows 10, run that, or run Linux, and you'll be happier. Poor Zafiel. I knew Zafiel was going to do that. Say that as soon as I saw the AMD A10, he was going to say, "Hey, it's garbage." I saw A10 and I was like, yeah, it's an A10, bro. A lot of people have jumped into AMD, and then the minute they hear AMD, it's like, oh, it's a great laptop, man. This is my experience. I really like Intel, and it's broken my heart a little bit that AMD has taken over, but I have no issue with it. I actually am running the stream right now in an AMD 5950X and very nice motherboard and 32 gigs of RAM, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the point being that I have no issue with AMD or Intel, but I like Intel in laptops because Intel has a better proven track record of handling heat and dissipating heat better than AMDs do. AMDs seem to overheat, and once they overheat once, they act funky, and that's been true since 10 years ago or 15 years ago when I first started messing with AMDs. So I'm a little weary about them. I'm very weary about.
Well, isn't AMD what a lot of the gamers want?
Oh yeah, because
then they have a cooling system and all. Like I got some video cards that have the a dual fan top and bottom, and they radiator cool. You know, the video cards I have, and I forget what they are. You know, that's for a desktop though. You know, and that was given to me by the engineer at the radio station. He said, "Here, the engineer told me and him were good friends. My cousin owns a radio station here in town, and it's a FM station. It's not talk radio or nothing like that. It's a regular commercial station, but it's individually owned. It's not corporate radio, okay? Like what you listen to wherever anybody's at. It's not corporate owned. It's locally owned, but it's an FM station, and they are worldwide on the web too. KBON.
The AMD architecture that is on their chips right now has allowed for a speedier set of processes, and that has given them the edge over Intel. It's also allowed for a smaller die, which it causes less heat and produces a better CPU. So AMD is on top right now. And a lot of people are like, oh, AMD is the best. But a lot of people forget that AMD actually leased the rights from Intel to build CPUs. They didn't come up with the CPU technology. They didn't invent it. They leased the technology, and they've since then been a competitor that Intel needed. Intel allowed this competition to grow. Now, this is one of the very this happened about 10 or 15 years ago when AMD got a bump on there and started making the 64-bit and got a jump on Intel's 32-bit processor. Now, and this is great innovation, right? Because AMD will go and experiment. Intel will learn from the mistakes. They're a much bigger company, have a lot more money and a lot more resources, will catch up to the mistake and then just overtake them for another 10 years. It's kind of funny, right? But it's okay. There's a time for one processor to be over the top. There is actually something that's about to revolutionize the CPU market, which they're talking about CPU stacking, where they're going to be able to put a die with 8 cores and then stick another 8 cores on top. So you're going to have 16 physical cores plus your threading, which will make that 32 cores, right? And if they're able to keep stacking with no issue and no issue with heat, it may even the playing field. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to happen. But very, very, very interesting topic. If for everything hip hop, I would go back to simply cleaning your machine and cleaning the physical portion of your machine, and then cleaning the software portion of your machine, and making a very lean install. Delete all the garbage, delete any games, delete any stuff like that. Do all the updates yourself. Set Windows Update to manual. Do the updates yourself. Let it ramp up to 100. Don't worry about it. Let it do it, and stay up to date with it, and leave it alone. That's what I would do. Unfortunately, you don't have the greatest processor in my mindset, but you already paid for it and you got to run with it. So that's how I would do it.
Well, the laptop that I'm on, my son bought this for us for an anniversary present. Okay. And it's an Intel Pentium Gold. Okay. It's a small laptop, HP, never had problems with it, nothing, but I've never spilt that on it neither.
Zafio saying he hates Intel. He'll come around to AMD eventually. Older CPUs are junky, but they've gained the edge. Now, I think you're talking to me, and I'm going to say, I think I said that. I'm running right now on an AMD 5950X 9, right? An AMD 9 or whatever it is. And I actually I was one of the first ones to get the AMD 64-bit processors. I can't remember what they were called, but it was the only thing that I could buy that could run my games at that time back in the day. I have no issue with AMD, but AMD has had its bumps like Intel has. Right now, Intel has a big deep bump, but Intel, the only prop I give Intel is they have always managed to manage heat much better than AMD. This has been proven to me many times in the server community and every other community. This is the first time in history that AMD is starting to come around in more servers than Intel has in recent months that I've seen, where people are buying AMDs for servers versus Intels. And I'm waiting to see how they perform in heat. That is a big no. Alexander Smith.
Heat is a big one.
Absolutely, because heat is an inevitable situation. Dust is going to create heat. Where you're at is going to create heat. Data centers, their cooling breaks sometimes. There are issues that happen. Condensation breaks sometimes, and there's not enough condensation or too much condensation, which increases the heat. So I would absolutely be careful with that. Alexander Smith says, Ed, what do you think about the Raspberry Pi? I love it. I think the Raspberry Pi is revolutionary from the standpoint that I can't believe it took some person that was trying to develop something for kids to play with to come up with a single board processing unit and computer that we can use for all the things now. If you're thinking about doing some emulating games like MAME, or you want to play some of the old school Pac-Man all the way up into Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, that kind of stuff, you can't beat the Raspberry Pi 4 for that. It is one of the cool things. Now, I know there's other single board computers, but at $35, the versatility and power that you get at the Raspberry Pi and the community, which is the largest part that should be attracting you, can't go wrong with the Raspberry Pi. I'm a big fan.
Okay, now let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
You buy a motherboard, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to have a motherboard that was red, okay? A red motherboard with everything. We just put it in the computer. Now, do you remember? Let me see. This is back in, I want to say 2006, 2007. What was the red motherboard? What did that stand for?
2007, I'm going to roughly think that the red motherboard was either MSI or it was just, so it was either MSI or ASRock. One of those guys decided to go, well, a couple of those companies decided to change their motherboard to a color to make it look cool. Like I think ASRock was black, and then I think MSI was red and then blue. But they decided to change their color so that when you looked at it, you were like, whoa, it's so cool. And
what about Raytheon?
Raytheon.
Raytheon, like Tucson, Arizona, the missile guidance systems.
Oh, you got me, man. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. No. You got me, bro.
We had a quad core, me and a buddy of mine. We had a quad core red motherboard, okay, that's government, okay. And we put that into a regular computer. Super fast. Back then, that was super fast, because, consider like today's, speed on a computer. Now, I'm talking about a desktop, not a laptop. Yeah. Okay. We wasn't even supposed to have that.
I just want to answer. I want to say one more thing to everything hip hop, if you don't mind. It's a different subject.
Go ahead.
It's back to the computer question. There is one more thing that I wanted to mention. Windows 10, and I just thought about this. Windows 10. I can't remember the build. There's a recent build that when you did the update to that, started having issues with Ethernet cards and updates cycling your CPU and RAM to 100%. And there was really no fix besides going to a restore point or reinstalling Windows. I'm remembering that because I ran into that while I was supporting a customer recently. That may be an issue as well. Something got stuck and it just didn't work. That is coming to mind. So in the end, you have no other moves but what I have said, and Zafiel has confirmed, is that you have to clean out your physical and clean out your software and start from scratch, and you'll be happy in the end. And load the latest build, and you should bypass that.
What's that one?
Juan Velasquez says, drink more beer. Absolutely, man. Always in for the apple juice. I think I'm like 5 or 6 in today. Zafiel says, it sounds like you stole a server motherboard and put it in a desktop. I think you're right, bro. I think he did. I think he stole it from something that he shouldn't have.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't do it. I can admit that I didn't do it. It was a friend of mine that knew somebody at Raytheon, and they had an extra motherboard available, and it was supposed to be trashed, shredded, whatever, but we came about it. It
So
was we didn't use it for it was just a super fast motherboard, and my buddy was on eBay all the time,
mhm,
and this thing was super fast. Like the last microsecond, he would hit
mhm,
buy. You know,
mm.
like on the bids on eBay, and boom, that quick.
Well, I want to actually mention something. That Zafiel is on here, and Zafiel, you can help me talk to Mater because Mater wasn't hearing it. I think he got kind of bamboozled a little bit at the Best Buy. He has decided to go with a HP Omen gaming laptop desktop. Um,
Yeah, we were
with
talking about that last night.
that's right. That's right. He said he wanted he it had an um I'm sorry, it had an RTX 3060 Ti in it. And he also said that it had an AMD 7 in it, and he was very proud of it. And I said, "Yeah, you should be proud. It sounds like a great machine." But here's the clincher, Zafiel, if you're still on, is that he um, is going to keep it in a garage in a setting where the cooling is going to be questionable and the heating is going to be questionable. So it's going to be an all weather situation. And I was like, you do not want that thing in there. Plus, he said, "Oh, I'm going to be okay when it comes to dust because it's water cooled." And I was trying to explain in the chat and while
Right.
I was typing that it doesn't matter if it's water cooled. A computer's still breathing if it's water cooled. It's just like a radiator in a car. As the
Mhm.
air comes in, it's still going over those fins. And if those fins become clogged, you're still overheating your computer. I'm really concerned about his setup for what he's thinking. Um, Juan Velasquez, I just put my channel in the chat. If you want to check it out, I'd appreciate that. Um, I don't talk a lot about computers there. I talk about tools, tech, DIY, and sometimes comics. Mostly tools. A lot of people like me talking about tools, but I love talking about computers as well. And I'd love to do more videos regarding computers. Um, let's see here. I think he was saying, "Ed the Old Tech Guy, I don't know what's with your channel. I don't know if I'm subscribed. I don't think you are. Most people are not in this community. I'm new to this community." Steel Wool Queen says she loves Alienware gaming PCs, as do I. I'm not a fan of throwing an RTX in there. If you're going to go with a 2070 or 2060 or 2080 graphics card, I kind of feel better with an Alienware gaming desktop than I do if you put in the new RTXs because the cooling, it doesn't seem to be doing a good job cooling in my mind as it should be. So if you're going to go Alienware, I know Zafiel is going to want to kill me, but I would suggest you go with a 2070 if you could get it and an Intel. And the reason is because the cooling isn't there. Now, if you're willing to put in the time and effort to add some fans and make sure that the cooling, the hot, so think of your PC in as a square, and you divide it in half. You got a hot location and a cool location. So your cool location is in the front as cool air goes in, hot air through the back. If you're willing to invest and put more time into that and make sure that it cools correctly, then you're going to be absolutely happy and satisfied with that Alienware with a brand new RTX 3080 or 3090. So be careful with it.
Yeah.
But I like them. I do like them.
Now I don't know if Mater wants that desktop computer in his shop or not.
I don't think he.
Uh, I don't think he does.
I
But
don't think
he
he does.
says if he does want to set it up in his shop, he's going to have like a add-on filter, you know, on the
Hmm.
breathing port of it and stuff. Uh, I mean, I have no idea about that. And but you did see me put that's too much for a laptop, you know, because I thought he was talking about a laptop for his workshop, and he doesn't do a lot of stuff in his shop that I know of, lately, because he does a lot of live streams on of it.
Yeah.
Uh oh.
Well, I
Now
almost dropped my phone. Sorry.
check this out. Since you was talking about like tool guy and all that.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, very nice. Very nice.
You know what that's all about right there.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
let me break out that middle port right there. That middle port, let me break that out and show you all that.
So Zafiel says go 100% AMD. He loves Radeon. He loves the AMD. He's been building computers for a while now. Remember, we are talking about Alienware. That it's their stuff they're building, and they don't do a good job on cooling. That's why I mentioned that. But that's my opinion. It doesn't have to be right. That's cool, bro. Who makes that? Where'd
That
you get
right
that?
there, I think, is with the FBI. It's either this one or another one. That's the tech guys for. See how I got them up now like that?
Yes,
You
yes,
can
yes. That's very
see how
nice.
that works. That has
Oh,
all the Y.
yep.
That's all for iPhones,
Mhm.
Apple notebooks, iPads, iPhones, all that.
Mhm.
And I mean that whole set right there is I got it on sale. It was like $89 or something. And I think I got it for 49 or something like that. It has
Mm.
all the little I forget what they call for tearing apart the iPhones.
Mhm.
You know, look, like right here,
Mhm. Mhm.
the what they call them, the squeegee. Oh crap, I forgot. Anyway, they got all the guitar picks in it and all that,
Yep.
so
Yep.
you could tear apart an iPhone.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to show
You
you the
know,
one I just got, and I made a video on it. Zafiel said, "Uh-oh, this would be interesting," because I want to try a different tool that most people don't think about, and this is from Klein Tools.
Starbuck, Jeff and Coins. How you doing, Starbuck?
Now that's from Klein Tools right there. I use this. I've been using it now religiously, trying to stay away from my other tools for some time just to see how this works. And I have to tell you, I've been really happy with it. Now, there's nothing better than the drivers that are made for you to I should say that
Right,
are just hard and that you don't have to change the tips.
right,
Those are much better, and I like the Wira ones. I like Wira, but if you need something on the immediate and you're okay with spending less money on the and this is a you need it right now to fix something, and then you're gonna go back to your Wira tools. I like this Klein tool set right here. It's not that expensive, and I've been using it pretty good. I love it. I love it. Starbuck Jeff, how you doing, buddy? Nice to meet you. I'm Ed, the old tech guy. I got a channel about tools, tech, DIY, and sometimes comics, and I'm a goofy guy that doesn't know much. And I'm an engineer. That's how you know I don't know much.
trust me, I'm an engineer.
That's right.
Starbuck, Starbuck Jeff, you said you saddened. What's Tell me the story.
Yeah, what's going on with you,
Uh,
bro?
well, we've had a couple of deaths in the corn community lately.
Oh no.
Yeah, like uh, three deaths and one almost death or two almost death.
Oh no.
So, yeah, a good friend of ours got in a car wreck. Uh, he passed away. Uh,
Man, that's sad.
Another guy, he's got both his legs cut off right below the hips. That's mobile coins.
Oh man.
So, man, Stern, that's the one I was talking about. Super Silver Man. He got in a bad car accident and got killed. Man, there's just a lot of stuff been going on in the corn community on people passing away.
Oh man, that's sad, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry for y'all
Uh,
losses, man.
Stern was a good friend of mine,
Oh man.
and trucking for silver. Yeah, he passed away. Yeah, man, it's like, oh man, when is it gonna stop? I was in the hospital for a month. Uh, I was almost dead when I went in.
Man, dude, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's messed up, bro.
Hmm.
Messed up. Zafio says, Ed, the old tech guy, I think some people get talked into buying top of the line water cooled systems for $2,000 when they would be better off buying a cheaper $800 system. I agree, bro. I really think maybe it should go. And I know you're probably gonna say no, not Intel, but because of the weather situation, and that's the only reason why. Because Intel has performed better in heat, in my mind, in my experience. I'd like to see him go with a lesser PC, maybe even a lesser graphics card, like a 1650. And he's probably going to do great. I mean, I don't think with his laptop, he even knows what he's doing half the time. He's going to do fine. He doesn't need to buy it. He doesn't need to spend that kind of money, but it's not our money, not our choice. All we could do is send him the suggestions. Back to what you were saying, Mon Ami, I'm sorry to hear that your friends have had trouble, and sorry that the coin community is suffering right now, man. All I could do is send prayers, and I know the tool community, which I'm a part of, we'll send you prayers as well, man. We're worried. We're worried about you guys.
Appreciate it, man. You know what? It's like there's a lot of people from the small engine community, small engine mechanics, in the coin community. Okay, I met Brandon via small engines through the coin community. I met him on TLT, and then there was Small Engine Nation. I don't know if you're familiar with Small Engine Nation. It's just a bunch of guys that are mechanics, small engine mechanics or what have you, and everybody made a video, and it was like a collage. Hi, um, you know, BS Small Engines, and I am Small Engine Nation. Then they'd have another little 5-second clip. Hi, I'm uh, uh, Tampa Tampa Bay Customs, and I am Small Engine Nation. Stuff like that. Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay Boys Customs. You familiar with them guys down there in
No.
Florida on small engines on
No.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm learning a lot from you guys here. I don't know a lot of these. Like I knew Terrell, and I knew the other guy you mentioned that was pretty big that talks about small engine saloon. I knew him.
Yeah,
Steve
Small Engine Saloon. Yeah, correct.
I'm subscribed to him, and I've been
Yeah.
watching him for a long time, so I kind of knew him.
And Alexander Smith, he's involved with Small Engine Nation. I was on Mixed Mowers one day on the panel, and he's in England, Mixed Mowers. He owns a small engine shop, but he's also he works for the railroad. The trains, railroad tracks and all that. Well, that's his main job, and he takes time out, on his time off, to fix small engines. There's nerd analysts. What's going on? But Alexander Smith is in the small engine community and in the coin community. Alexander Smith is a huge coin collector. That man's got more stuff than I got. Put it that way, in the coin community.
Yeah, man, dude, man, it's sad to hear the stuff that's going on today. I mean, it's almost like you're assaulted with it, right? Because you got so much stuff that's happening locally in your community, and you got the floods that are going on in other places, the earthquakes in other places. It's just been kind of it's just been a bit overwhelming for me. I think it's been kind of rough. Yeah, you had somebody else in your comments here earlier. I didn't catch her name, but she said she got her first dose of the vaccine.
Stillwell Queen, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. No, hold on. Lady Jack said she got I
Oh,
think it was
Lady
Lady
Jax,
Jax.
yeah.
Lady Jax said she got her first dose of the vaccine. So when it comes to the vaccine thing, I'm kind of like, look, everybody do your thing. If you want it, you want it. If you don't want it, you don't want it. It is what it is. Do your thing. You
I
don't need
didn't
to.
do mine yet because we in the summertime right now. I mean, usually you take a flu vaccine, which coronavirus is a flu, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I was in the hospital. I didn't have it. I've been tested for it 4 times already.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was going to get it when I was in the hospital for that month, but now we're in the summertime.
Mm.
Usually, you don't take a flu vaccine in the summertime. You wait until what, like October, September, October.
Mm-hmm.
You know, down here in the South. You know, so
Yeah.
I'll see.
Yeah.
Then they got another one. Then they got another one. You know, I don't know, the Delta.
The Delta one that's
Yeah.
going on right now. It's getting kind
So,
of big.
well, I'm glad I waited. So in October, I'll be up to date on whatever they come out with.
So my personal opinion is you got to do you, man. You got to do as husbands and family heads, and those of you who are wives and maybe family heads. Um, you have to do what's right for you and your kids, your little ones. All that other stuff is just politics and nonsense that we need to ignore. You need to do what's right for you. And if you decide not to take it, that's your thing. If you decide to take it, that's your thing too. We shouldn't be
Yeah.
chastising each other for making that decision. Some of us believe more in science than others, and some of us believe in what we believe is science more than others. So either way, we don't need to be chastising what anybody else thinks.
Right.
And
And I don't do that. I don't
Mhm,
chastise anybody.
mhm,
Like my buddy Johnny Best, okay? He's an outboard motor mechanic. We have the big, what I call the big shop is 80 by 120. Okay,
mhm,
it's full blown machine shop inside
mhm,
and gunsmith shop in the back office. Okay,
mhm,
and that's our big shop right there.
mhm, mhm,
Uh, he took his shot.
mhm,
You know, two of them. But his buddy, I'm not going to say a name. It's not a YouTube name. Anyway,
mhm.
his buddy said, "Did you get your shot?" He said, "Yeah, I did." He says, "I wish you didn't because you're going to die." No, no. Okay, train's coming in. I got to mute myself.
Real quick, Zafio says, Ed the old tech guy, easy to say to do your own thing when they're denying travel, penalizing or firing people that don't have it. I've had COVID already. Zafio, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't disagree with you. It's an easy thing for me to say. Where I'm coming from with that statement is that's my opinion, right? So I think that way. So if you got the shot or didn't have the shot or you had COVID and you've decided not to take the shot after COVID, I'm not going to judge you because of it. But it is rough and almost wrong that governments and jobs and other things are judging people from that standard as well. All I'm saying is Ed, the old tech guy, is not going to judge you whether you have it or don't have it. I can't speak for the government. I can't speak for other entities. I think that that the kind of stuff that's happening right now is nonsense. I'll tell you right now, in order to do the job that I do, and you know that I'm a network engineer and I travel quite a bit, and there's no way they would let me do my job without having the vaccine. I would never be able to go to an office. I would never be able to travel to the places that I have to travel without the vaccine. So I have to take it anyways. I have no choice. So in that point, you're right. But I guess all I'm saying is I'm sticking up for my comment, which is I'm not going to judge anybody whether they have it or don't have it, and
Yeah.
that's the only promise I can give you. Everything else that's going on in the world is almost nonsense to me, and it isn't fair. It isn't fair to people who have it and don't have it because both sides are getting chastised. So Cajun Coin Hunter here is not going to chastise you for having it or not having it. He understands it's a personal opinion. That's all I'm saying.
Because I got two friends of mine.
Mm-hmm.
one guy said I had it, and what they told me I had it. Okay, well, actually, that was like 3 or 4 friends of mine said I had it, but it wasn't no big deal. Then
Mm-hmm.
another friend of mine said they had it, and it was like, oh man, it was bad. It was bad. My back muscles hurt and all this and
Mm-hmm.
everything. It was worse than a regular flu, the other flu I had,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't have their shots or whatever, you know. So if you had it, the shot, the vaccination, or didn't have it, one person said it was, like it was real bad. The other 3 people said, no, it was just like the regular flu or a cold, you know.
So Juan Velasquez and Ezekiel are having a bit of a conversation. I want to jump in on this if you guys don't mind, but
Go ahead, go
um,
ahead.
Zaphiel is saying that he mentioned that Ed the old tech guy, so that they're denying travel, they're denying people from working and things of that nature, and Juan Velasquez is asking, so why is that affecting you, or how is that affecting you? So I guess what I want to say is, back to my statement that both sides are being harassed. There's some people that have decided that what's best for their families is not to take the vaccine. Okay. And you've got people on the other side saying, you guys are dumb. You don't believe in science. You don't believe in this or that. You guys are this. They're harassing them for their decision. On the other side of it, you've got people who've decided to take the vaccine, and you've got the people who have decided not to take the vaccine, harassing them, saying you're dumb, you don't believe in like what science. It's the same arguments, right? Just reversed. And you're seeing this on Facebook, you're seeing it on TikTok, you're seeing it everywhere. I think that it's like any medical HIPAA regulated decision, even like a voting booth. You don't have to disclose if you took it or not. The people most in
Mhm.
danger, according to the doctors, if you want to believe them, the WHO, if you want to believe them or whatever, the people most in danger are the ones not taking the vaccine. If you decided to take the vaccine, that's your choice. You're more protected than they are. People are taking a risk with their opinion. I personally, again, Ed, the old tech guy, is not going to chastise or judge anybody whether they've taken it or not taken it, because I wasn't going to take it. I honestly was not going to do it. I didn't want to do it at all. But one of my family members passed away from COVID, and my family is very sensitive to the subject. So I did it for their peace of mind. And
Okay.
and in doing that, I understood the risks of taking it. I understand that they use certain chemicals in the shot that may increase inflammation, that may cause, the increased inflammation causes increased blood pressure and other things that can happen. And they don't know for how long that will last. That may last forever. That may not last long. There's all kinds of stuff that go as side effects. But I was okay with that because I understood that would give the peace of mind of my family. But I also understand the camp that doesn't want to take it, because I was in that camp. I don't want to take it. I didn't want to take it, but I
All
did
right.
it for the peace of my family. So I did what was best for my family, because I'm the head of that family. And
Let
that's what I
me
needed to do. Go
yeah.
ahead, bro.
Let me read a couple of comments. Still Wool Queen, in some parts of the country, schools are denying older children admission into public schools without it. Uh, that is ludicrous to deny a child an education. Okay. And then Juan Velasquez,
Hmm.
he says, why are you being forced to take in the vaccine? And Starbucks, Jeff and Cohen says, I took the vaccine because I have a major heart condition. Okay. And
Hmm.
I couldn't risk the complications with my weak heart. Do y'all know what I mean? Yes, sir. I know exactly what you mean. Okay. Juan again, Zephael, really hope that you're not forced to taking it for work if you do not want to take it. Okay. Alexander Smith says, I don't care whether someone has uh, their jabs, shots or not. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Starbucks. I truly believe that it's violating our constitutional rights, being forced to get the vaccine. Some companies making it mandatory. Harsh. Well, okay. I'm going to rephrase that. Bull butter. Okay. From horse dung to bull butter. And that is Cajun Coin Hunters saying. Okay. And I started that years ago. Okay. Nobody else can take credit for that. Bull butter. That means bullshit, freak off, and all that. Okay. So I'm translating his horse dung to bull butter. Sorry. But, I got the vaccine, so this is my opinion. John Jacobs, let me see. I dog it. I went down there. Okay. And I just love seeing the idiots with masks that do nothing. Okay. Maybe more problems. Okay. I only took it because I have extremely compromised immune system. That's Dreadpool 26. Dreadpool, sorry I didn't say hi earlier. Thanks. Thanks for coming in, mon ami. That's a true blue subscriber right there, Dreadpool 26. I mean, when I go live, Dreadpool's in here a lot of the time. You have to do it. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, I agree with you on that. My immune system is very strong, especially with all the antibiotics I've been taking in the hospital back in March. Okay, nerd analysts. If you have taken the vaccine, then I would assume have decided to protect you. If that's the case, then why worry? Chastise the anti-vaxxers. It's their risk to take. Okay, he's not talking to anybody right there, and I sometimes I still wear a mask. I'll go in the store, I still wear a mask. Okay, it depends on where I go at, but I don't hardly go nowhere. I stay in my house. I stay to myself. Let's see. Starbucks, laughing my ass off, Cajun. Love you, brother. That's the thing, Cajun. A lot of places work are making the vaccine mandatory, which isn't right. But I don't know. I read all that, and I've been seeing everything with people still having COVID after they took the vaccine. And I know it mutates and all that. And I said one time or several times, I had the fake flu, which back then, 30 years ago, it was called the fake flu. They just didn't have. John Francis, what's going on, mon ami? Another Louisiana man in the house. How you doing, John? I had the fake flu. They didn't have a name for it. It was just a mutated flu. And oh boy, oh man, that's the worst I ever felt in my life right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna, Zafiel's making some good points, and others are making some good points. In the end of the days, that's what's kind of funny about. Somebody mentioned this is a great community here, and that we've got some great communities, like within the YouTubes, and I think we have to be okay with respecting everybody's different opinion, and I think everybody does a good job here of doing that. Some of us are going to take the vaccine, whether it's because of our jobs or we believe in it, or we think it's just the best chance we've got versus not taking it. And others are going to decide not to take it because they believe it's a better way of doing it, and that's the right chance. And let's just all respect each other's opinion. I absolutely understand the constitutional weight and laws that may be affected with these decisions. I get that. But that's to be argued in a court of law, not on YouTube or Facebook and amongst friends. All that does is cause people to get mad at each other, and people get all over each other.
Yeah.
You can't win it. You're not going to win it here, whether you're a Trumpy or Trumpy or Trump supporter. People think Trumpy is bad. I don't know. I don't know what the right thing to say is, but or if you're okay with the Biden guy or whatever. In the end of the day, we all seem to have forgotten that voting in the booth was supposed to be private and quiet, and you were only supposed to be out there, pushing for your guy if it was voting season. That's the only time you did it. Now everybody seems they gotta share their opinion pretty harsh and beat up everybody who doesn't agree with them one way or the other. And
that's right.
I'm okay with, if you believe in one thing and I think you're wrong, well, you're in your very right to be wrong. You can be as wrong as you'd like.
Hey, Carrie Baxter, how you doing?
Hey, Carrie, how you doing?
You know what? My opinion is you can vote whoever you want to vote for. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a saying. I don't talk about politics and I don't talk about religion. And this is not on YouTube, I'm saying this. This is to all my friends. Okay. So, that ends that session real quick. Like, if somebody says, I love Donald Trump, or if somebody says, I love Joe Biden, okay, I'm not going to say who I vote for or whatever, but I'm just going to say, hey, I don't talk about politics that much. That much, okay? Now, if you say Trump 2024, I'm going to say, well, let's talk a little bit more about it.
Whatever it is,
I don't denounce anybody for being a Biden fan or whatever. I don't. It's just, let's hope he does something good.
If you can, listen, the truth of the matter is there's corruption no matter which way you look at it. Don't matter if it's blue if it's blue in the White House or red in the White House, there's some type of corruption going on. And the guys that take it on the chin are always us, the middle class and lower. We always take it on the chin.
The lower class. And I'm in the lower class. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you can absolutely voice your opinion, but the minute it becomes a heated discussion, you can guarantee that the other side that you're having that discussion with is no longer listening to you. They're so busy planning how to try to one-up you that there's no good information going in there. So sometimes it's just better to walk away from it and be smart with your words. Like when Jesus was talking to Pontius Pilate, right? And Pontius Pilate said, "Hey, the Jews say that you're the Son of God," and he said, "You yourself have said it." That's all he said. He didn't say you're right, you're wrong, or indifferent. He said, "That's what you said." That's all he said. That's what you said.
What province was Pontius Pilate over on? Okay, his province. What province was Pontius Pilate?
Oh, come on, man! You're gonna get me right there. You got me, bro. I don't remember.
Okay. Judea.
That's right. He was ruling over the Jews at that time. That's right. That's
Judea.
right. Sometimes the point being that sometimes you just got to be smart and sidestep the conversation. Say, listen, I made my points. It's getting heated. Hey, it's cool. It's cool. Now, I do have an issue. I absolutely do have an issue. If somebody walks in a market or a restaurant and is wearing a Trump 2020 shirt or a Biden 2020 shirt and they're harassed for that, who cares what they're wearing, man? That's their business. Why you got to get in their business? Why you got to call them names? Why you got to say anything to them?
Exactly right. Exactly right.
I got no issue. Yeah.
Years and years ago, hey, Bar Boys, I said hi in chat. I've typed it in chat. How you doing, Bar Boys? He's a coyote hunter. He's a trapper. Okay, nuisance trapper, coyotes and stuff like that. Uh, you know what I'm talking about, Ed? The
Oh,
trapper.
a trapper. He traps
Yeah,
animals.
yeah, correct. Nuisance animals. Like coyotes and all that. He'll try to get rid of the coyotes in a farmer's area and stuff like that. Bar boys. Yeah.
Now, my buddy here, Coin Crew Thug, is saying, "Amen, amigo. Can you show us your Aztec bar, please?
Really
I really
appreciate
would
it.
appreciate it.
Gracias.
Gracias." What I'll be honest with you. I'm looking for your email and I have not received it, and I don't know if I received any. I'm gonna check the spam folder to see if you got it in there.
Is he talking about like silver bar or silver coin?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, Aztec bar. That would be
Silver, but I haven't received anything, so I don't know
okay.
how could you have sent it to me that quickly, unless you're talking about your email, which I have not
Yeah, but
received.
I think Coin Crew Thug. I think you told him to email you something a while
Mhm.
back or something.
I did, and I put my email in there, so I have
Right.
not received your
Okay.
email, bro. So I don't know.
Mike Pallet, how you doing, mon ami? Mike Pallet's in the house.
Steel Wool Queen, I want to say that we have in the past, and I hope that in the future we continue to do that. She says, whether this country is divided by the government or not, when push comes to shove, we all unite and stand together like no other nation. Um, I agree that we have in the past. You see that in World War One. You see that in World War Two. You see that in even in Vietnam. Even though some people were dodging the draft and some of the stuff that was going on, but for the most part, people united. Um, I would say nowadays that's getting thin, right? That's doesn't seem to be the thing. Like, and the only reason why I'm saying that is when coronavirus hit, you saw a big division and political parties and other people trying to make
Oh,
divisions,
yeah.
and they got deep in those divisions. They played
Mhm.
those divisions. Um, I hope that continues to be true. My I will go. I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm with you. I hope that that's true, and I know I would stand up, and I know many that would. But it's been a rough few years that have shown us a little weird stuff. You know.
I was born in the early '60s. Okay, so uh, I was raised on Louisiana South Louisiana back then was a lot of Democrats, and you know, uh, when I was born, that's when Kennedy got shot. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you know, back then it didn't matter if you were Republican or Democrat. It didn't matter. Everybody still got along. You know, John F. Kennedy was a Democrat, and I bet you he's turning over in his grave right now. Like, what have you Democrats nowadays Democrats done to my Democratic Party? You know, y'all just messed that up because Democrats were good guys back then. Republicans were good guys.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
way back then, and all of a sudden, this is oh boy, a huge. The Republican Party and the Democratical Party now is almost that's our World War III, I think.
Mhm.
The Democrats and the Republicans. That's World War III almost. We fighting against each other, and there's no need to. There's no need to be fighting like that.
Yeah, I heard a quote, and I can't recall who it was. So if somebody watches your video one day and says, Ed used my quote, I give you full credit to whomever you are. But I heard one time that hard times make strong men. Strong men
That's a
make
fact.
make easy times. easy times make soft men make hard times, and the cycle continues. And I think we've had some easy, soft times for quite a while here. And the men of today, and listen, before you beat me up, I'll even throw myself in there.
I'm not.
I,
I'm not. And
I think,
I'll be right back. Okay, keep
yeah,
on talking. I'll be right back.
yeah, no problem, no problem. I think I'm nothing like the strong men of old, cowboys and the guys that were on iron towers building like the Sears Tower and stuff like that. I will have to say, compared to them, I would consider myself a soft man. And compared to my great grandfather and grandfather, men who put shoes on horses and and I grew up poor. I grew up in a place where I was taking water out of a well every morning at 5 a.m., had to milk the cows, had to do stuff like that. So I consider myself kind of tough, but compared to those guys, I think I'm a soft guy. So hard times make soft men. The softer, I do see that we're becoming softer. And I should say, yeah, hard times make easy times, I should say. Or how does that go again? I said it wrong, right? Hard times make strong men make easy times, and the easy times are happening, and those soft men are producing, and now the softest of men, right, are coming, and now the hard times are coming. And I think that's to a point that Zaphiel is saying. um Zaphiel is saying that he's concerned that we're going to get to a point where we're not going to come out of this, because you got people right now that don't want to go to work. You got people, and barring any medical issue, if you got a medical issue, you are aside of this conversation. If you don't have a medical issue and you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, you need to get a job, man. You need to work. What happened to the days where we used to define ourselves by what we did? I mean, I'm an engineer. I wear that proudly. I'm happy to be an engineer. Why can't we be engineers? Or why can't we be happy? If I'm a lawn care person, why can't I just be happy doing that? Something is going on here, making very soft people that are insulted by anything and want a government or a system that does everything for them. And I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. I don't think the government was ever built to do everything for you so you could sit around in your home and just watch TV. I don't think that's what anything was built by. It was supposed to be built around laws and ethics to protect people, not coddle people. And I think that's where we're at right now. Um, People are hiring. We need people in STEM, sciences and technology. We need people. Please. I know jobs right now that pay great money.
Yeah, we were talking about that on your stream earlier.
Yeah.
Like truck drivers, CDL truck drivers. They got what, $20,000, $20,000 sign up bonus. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know what is. I guess I don't. So before anybody sits there and judges me and says, "Oh, you don't know. You've been coddled. You're privileged because you're in the United States and you're in the United States citizens." I am privileged. I have to tell you that right now. I am privileged for having been born a United States citizen and living here and all that. But I lived in Mexico for 4 or 5 years, and I lived poor. And I lived before that. After that, my father passed away, and I lived really poor because I lived with my mom. She was a single mom. She was a widow. She was a housewife. She didn't know how to have a job. We were living off welfare and Social Security. My mom had her mental issues, so we were very poor because of those things. And there was a great amount of suffering I went through, but those hard times made me strong because I grew up, and now I have 2 jobs and YouTube. I'm always trying to make money. I'm always trying to figure out how to survive. I don't want to be, um, coddled and taken care of. I'm always trying to coddle and take care of other people. That doesn't no. So Steel Wool Queen says being a U.S. citizen does not mean anyone is coddled. You're absolutely right. That's what I'm saying. It does make us privileged because this is one of the very few places on earth you can speak your mind. You can, without being arrested, you get certain inalienable rights that are provided to you by the Constitution. But you're a lot of people forget that we are given those rights, and you can get out of being poor. Look, I was dirt poor. If I would have stayed in Mexico dirt poor, or any other Latin country like Guatemala dirt poor, I would have never gotten out of it. But now I'm part of the upper middle class because I was able to dig out. Where else can you do that? I don't know of another place. And if you tell me of another place that exists like that, I'll agree to you that I'm ignorant to that place, but the only place I've ever seen it is in the U.S. Sorry, Cajun, I'm taking over your show. I'm over here talking about.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm letting you do it. Alexander Smith said if the public stood up to them all together, they would probably realize that we aren't standing for their nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So I have an account on TikTok, and the stuff I see on TikTok, oh my God. It dwarfs the stuff I see on YouTube. I think people are mean on YouTube, and God, it dwarfs what the insanity that's happening on anything that's YouTube.
Look out, everybody. We got Lemon Head Penny in the house. What's going on, mon ami? I was in your stream tonight, Lemonhead. I was waiting on Ed, the old tech guy with the three Tooges coming on. Yeah. Ed, the old tech guy, say hi to Lemonhead Penny.
Lemonhead Penny, what's happening? How you doing? I'm Ed, the old tech guy. I talk about tools, tech, DIY, and sometimes comics, and sometimes on other people's channels. I talk about a little bit of the world's going on, but usually I don't talk about religion or politics on my channel. I just talk about tools, tech, DIY, and sometimes comics. I stay away from stuff that makes people mad at me. Zafio says, what do you think about what's happening in South Africa? I can see that easily coming to the U.S. in the future. Man, dude, what's happening in South Africa, I don't know 100% or understand, or even say.
I have no idea what's going on down there.
Or even want to guess at what's happening from a political standpoint. All I have to say is that my heart goes out to those people, because you're saying that that's coming to the U.S. That kind of already came to the U.S. They're going through, at least the part that I saw, where the people are rioting in the streets and stealing from the stores and destroying stores and doing all that stuff. We already went through that. If you would have seen what happened at in Chicago a few months back, it looked like our city looked like what you saw in South Africa. So I saw that, but maybe it's worse there. Again, I am pleading with you guys to understand that there's a level of ignorance here. I'm not a South African, and I'm not watching the news like that, so I don't know. But there's some crazy stuff happening. I hope we don't see another wave of that here in the U.S.
That's what Nerd Analyst put right there. Cajun Coin Hunter and at Ed, the old tech guy. I deleted most of my social media. It's rotting society to its core. Let me be clear. The way social media is being used, not the tools themselves, is the issue. Okay. Now, mainstream media right now is, put it this way. This year, we haven't heard a lot. Okay. Well, put it this way. In the last 5 months, we haven't heard a lot at all.
Cajun, can you throw up Juan Velasquez's last comment where it says I'm privileged? Right above lemon.
Let me get on
Right,
there because
right above Lemonhead Penny.
yeah, I got to go way up here. Hold on.
Oh, well, I think I could read it here. It says, I am, Juan Velasquez says, I am privileged to have the right to own a firearm, to be able to hunt on public land and provide, to be able to own land and grow a garden. I'm not privileged. I am a human. All should have this right. Wait, hold on a second. Yes and no. You are privileged because in other lands they don't even give you your human rights. You're absolutely right. Should every human have this right? Yes. Just like you have the right to breathe. But do other lands give you this right? They don't. I'll give you an example. Mexico, where my family is from, you can buy the house and you say, oh, I bought this house, but you don't own the land. The government owns the land. So it doesn't matter if you bought your house. The government can come and knock down your house and say, oops, it's my land. Or you can find gold on that land. You can find oil on that land. And they'll be like, oops, it's mine. Get off of my land. I don't know what you do about your house, but it's my land, right?
Mm-hmm.
In other places, you don't have the freedom, or I should say, because lately the freedom of press has been light here, but the freedom of press that we have has been diminished in other, from what it was. And Juan Velasquez says, Ed, that was my point. Okay, great. I'm glad. I wanted to make sure that we agreed on this point, because that's right. You are absolutely right. Every human should have this right, but so many people don't. And a lot of people are forgetting that we have that right and undermining that right, or those rights that we have provided to us by what is the Constitution, and they're forgetting that. And they should be fighting for that. Now, again, my family came here poor. My family came here with nothing, and here I am, first generation, and I'm doing very well. Where else can you do that? And this is why I'm not somebody who's going to easily crap on what has been given to me. Some people gotta wake up. I don't know what's going on in this country sometimes. Juan Velasquez says, but Ed Yolteca, I did not choose to be born where I was. Yeah, no, neither was anybody else. And some of us are, excuse the term, are part of the lucky sperm club and are born to billionaires. And some of us are born to very poor people. None of us got a choice. The right or the freedom that you have is to take where you were born from and do something with it, because some countries will not let you do something with it. They have what's called classism and will say no matter who you're born to, you're stuck there. You can only do that. And in other countries, you're born poor, they'll make sure you stay poor, whether it's not classism and it's based on politics or whatever. Here, you can try to push beyond that. If you're very rich, you can help the poor and do all kinds of stuff and get out of that. Or if you're very poor, you can move up the ladder. You can do it. And some people will say, but I have these other issues. I have health issues or whatever. Understood. Barring all that stuff, the point is that you are guaranteed by laws that you have the rights to potentially help yourself. And a lot of places don't have that. And that's scary.
Hey, Hector, check your email, mi amigo. You're going to love Hector's interest in coins. Okay. He's got a story for you, too. Okay. Just like you got your story, he's got his story. And it's almost the same as your story.
Who's got a story? I'm sorry. What was that? I'm sorry.
Hector's interest in coins. Hector, check your email, bud. Yeah, he comes up on my panel a lot of times.
Oh, okay.
And he's over in California.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, hey, he's one of my best friends. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube best friend. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
his family has a ranch and all that. His family, his familia, came originally from Mexico and to California, back to Mexico, and then back to California.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a teacher in school.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, the guy Hector is awesome. He is. He's an awesome guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Bump, bump, bump,
um
bump, bump.
sorry guys. I'm looking at my emails because
And
Coin Crew Thug keeps saying he sent me an email and I have not seen it. So maybe it'll come in tomorrow. I don't know what's going on. But
there's Monsieur Hector.
Hey,
Mi
muy bien.
amigo.
¿Cómo
Hey,
está?
¿cómo está?
Très bien, très bien.
Wait.
hey Hector, I'm Ed. Very nice to meet you, man. I'm Ed, the old tech guy on YouTube.
Oh, I'm Hector Gutierrez and from California.
Oh, all right, cool. I'm from the Shy, where we eat hot dogs, avoid the wind from the windy city, and dodge bullets for a side quest.
Chi-Town,
Well,
Chicago.
then you should know about California because California is a drive-by city.
Oh, of course I know, man. You guys and us battle on two things:
Mm.
who's got the best Mexican food, who's got the best low riders. We're always battling. So,
Oh, hey, I'm old school, so I can tell you how it started, when it started. I can tell you it started in East LA. Old school.
how about house music? Who's got the best house music? I still go down by Chicago. Chicago's got the best house music, bar none.
I'm a Chicago Bears fan.
Oh, he's got Chicago Bears fan. Oh man,
I've been
and
a Bears. Well, my
Uh-huh.
uncle, actually, he's a great uncle, was a cousin of my grandparents. He was one of the groundskeeper in Soldier Field.
Yeah, cool, man.
That's why I became a Bear fan.
Oh man, dude, awesome. I wish I could go see the Bears. It's so
Yeah,
expensive.
me too. I've seen the Bears play at the Coliseum. I've seen them played in San Francisco with the Bears. My brother-in-law is a Raider fan, season ticket holder for the last 20 years. So he let me borrow his ticket once in a while when he couldn't make it to the game, and especially if it was a Bear game.
Mm.
But my son's a Bear fan. I mean, not a Bear fan, but he's a Raider fan. And one time we went to the game in San Francisco, and I had my big black jacket with white sleeves. And I used to work for a company that had black and white as their colors, and they thought I was a Raider fan. I took my jacket off, and I had my. He said, "Dad, don't take it off. Don't take it off. Don't take it off." And I had nothing but Bears in my middle black hole.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what man. You got to meet my buddy Jay Who. You got to meet him. He's a crazy Bears fan.
Oh,
this is great.
Jehu, yeah, that's a cool cat right there. I like Jehu.
We're all cool out here, man. We're not as smooth as Californian, Latinos, but we're cool over here, man. We're straight up cool.
Most of my family, I would say, would be the same way because they, when we get together, we're boxing fans too. Back since Mark Rocket Margiano and the Kane Lister, all the way up to Holyfield to Tetra Camacho and all those guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So the Cajun was saying you had a story you wanted to tell. I want to hear your story. What you got, buddy?
Which story?
I don't know. Cajun said you had a story.
Oh, Hector, about how your grandfather.
Oh yeah.
Went to California, then back to Mexico, and then back to California.
Yeah. My grandfather was born in 1888, and my grandmother was born in 1892. And he came to California as a boy, 11 years old, from Michoacan. He walked all the way to San Francisco. didn't have much of an education. From what I understand, he only had a third education, but he was self-taught, and he grew up on the coastline in San Francisco at the piers, and he spoke 7 languages because si no comes, you don't work. If you don't work, you don't eat. And so after that, he kept back and forth, because he went back to visit his family. But I'm a 5th generation Mexicano, because my family's been coming back and forth. Because my great grandfather Antonio, he's buried here in town, and he was born in 1863.
Wow.
So, and then my grandfather was with the Revolutionarios. He was with Emilio Zapata. I can tell you stories about the Cruceristas and all that.
Man, that's crazy, man. That's awesome that you could trace your lineage that far, man. So my family's from Guadalajara, Jalisco.
So was mine.
Oh, wow, cool, man. But we're from a small pueblo that's right off the city. It's called Atemajac.
Okay.
And but we consider ourselves. It's like saying you're of a suburb of Chicago. You're still,
because they won't know where you're at. You can say you're from Fresno, California, but you're living near Atwater or
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know much of my lineage. I know that there's French and Spaniard blood in there, but I know that there's a lot of
Well, if you look at me, in the way I sound, it's not. I don't have the accent. My dad was Santa Claus. I mean, he looks literally like Santa Claus because he was Frances. And that's why Cajun and I talk a lot in French, because we have some French background.
Yeah, I actually have. I don't know any of the lineage. I only know parts of it, and I could kind of go back there. But most of it is like, I mean, I'm dark. Look, I got some Indio in me, and that's okay. I'm good with it. But I wish I knew my lineage like the way you know it, and your lineage. You could go back and state all that stuff, man.
The thing is that I talked to my parents, and my parents were into. Everybody was a cousin, no matter 4th or 5th or. Like I just found one of my 5th cousins because his great grandmother was my grandfather's sister. I just met him. Yeah, I just met him on ancestry.com. And the reason I do a lot of research because I'm a teacher and I do a lot of research and a lot of things like even Cajun knows that I like doing electronics and trying to fix my TV and cars and cooking, barbecuing. So I do a lot of stuff, and mostly,
bunch of coin collecting.
Yeah, coin collecting. I raised cattle with my dad, and marranos. That's why my channel's name is Hector's Interest and Coins.
Oh, you have a channel too? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll subscribe. I gotta check it out. I'm gonna find you here.
Type something in chat, Hector.
Okay.
And I'll highlight it.
Hold on, I'm typing.
Yankee Mafia's in the house. Go ahead, Hardhead. How you doing, buddy? Hadn't seen you in a while.
I'm
Yankee
typing
Mafia Incorporated.
I'm typing away to who was it? Lemonhead Lemonhead Penny, because they say they're saying they're genealist, or is that somebody else? Hold on.
Genealogist. I think it's Steelwood Queen.
Steelwood, yeah, that's right. Steelwood Queen. Sorry.
Yeah, I read that earlier.
She said that. So I put my email in the chat so you can have it and email me. And I'd love to find out what I can how to get to that, because I know that somebody was talking about there's a book in Jalisco that has all the family lineage, but my last name. What the heck? my last name.
I was hooking up. I was hooking up channel to Cajun so I can type something.
Oh, okay. So
I thought I heard a gearhead out there. Somebody peeling out with burning the rubber off the tires.
No, I heard the Llorona or something. I was freaking out.
Oh,
I'm like, oh no.
Ah,
yeah. I'm also a storyteller because I tell my kids, because a lot of my students don't know their family history or where they're from.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom was 90 and dad was 93 when they both passed away. My mom's older sister, she's 93 right now. She's still alive, and she gave me all the names of the bisabuelos and tatarabuelos back 7 generations.
Oh man. So I just somebody in the channel. Thank you so much for putting it in there. It was David Carlisle. Thank you very much. Put your channel in there, I believe. And Hector's Interest in Coins. I just subscribed. I'm gonna check it out, man.
Okay.
That looks really cool. Um, so are you like a high school teacher or
Middle school.
middle school? Man, dude, they got to add something to the curriculum. Could somebody start teaching our young Latino kids to start investing and how to balance a checkbook and how to do some basic stuff and how to grow generational wealth? Because we have no clue, man. And the minute we got money, we start buying rims and gym shoes and baggy pants instead of like putting it into growing our money as a family.
I don't know. My dad put us through five of us through private school, and I went to private high school. All four of us went to college, and my dad bought a house, paid it off, bought a ranch, paid it off, retired at 62, and he was only making $8.23 an hour.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So
it's
possible.
It's absolutely possible. That's what I'm talking about. But some of the young people today, they're like, oh, I can't do it. I can't. They just put their hands up in the air.
Actually, I just watched a video on a guy named, his channel's called moneymustache.com, and he quit his job and retired at 30.
Wow.
Because the first thing you do, and it's not, I know it's not for everybody and it's really, really hard, but these guys were very educated. They were professional, like engineers and market managers and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, hold on one sec.
Sure.
Hold on one sec, Hector. Okay.
You muted Cajun. Oh, I don't know
what happened. Show your shirt off. Show your shirt off. Trust me, I'm an engineer.
That's cool. What I was thinking was that my parents invested us in our education, and I grew up. I was born in the 50s, mid 50s. We grew up in the 60s, 70s, and now I barely miss Vietnam. I sound not the age that I'm supposed to be, but there was a lot of challenges that the odds were against you. You know? And my parents never gave us that excuse. They said, "You work harder than the next guy. You have to."
Right. That's right.
And you play the game, and you play with the rules. And if you have the rules changed on you, you fight it. And I'm trying to tell my kids my students, what I call my kids, my students. But my kids are already saving. You know, they're buying silver. They're investing. Bought their house. My daughter bought her house at 27 by herself. I didn't even help. Yeah,
excellent.
But they lived with us until they had enough money for the 20% down payment. And I know Ed, the old tech guy.
That's me.
No. There's a guy called Ed, the tech guy. Not the old. He's on YouTube also.
I don't even know who that is, but oh man, he stole my name, or maybe I stole his without knowing it.
Yeah, well, it's possible. It's possible. Thanks, Anna. Yeah, I mean, my house is paid off already, and that's one of the things that was goals that people That's another thing. They do adding wealth. One of the best ways and easiest way is to buy a home. We bought this home that we thought we couldn't afford, and it was true for a while, but we made it. And I told my kids, don't move as much. You know, keep your spending in control, save at least $120 a month, $130, whatever you can, and just like it's thrown away. And they're doing better than I thought.
So I've tried to mentor some youths in my time, and I've mentioned to them some basic things, and it goes against the grain with today's thinking, but things like trying not to do your best, and I'm not saying that it's going to work out for everybody, but do your best not to have a divorce in your life will increase your wealth.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's little things like that. Yeah, you had problems in your marriage, and you know, there comes a time when it can't be fixed, and that's understandable. But for the most part, if you can fix it and forgive and continue to love each other, you being married and staying married will gain you generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Always have I always tell them, always have a side job, always learn something else. So if you're into computers, learn how to fix cars. Always have two completely sides of the spectrum that agree with what you're doing, so that if one day one thing dries up, you're able to just pick up and keep going with the other thing. Don't get stuck in one thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I only believe in education is what is the wealth creator. I know a lot of my coworkers don't like me saying that you should go to college no matter what, and I tell that to the students who I've heard my coworkers tell them, and that they tell me that you shouldn't go to college. You shouldn't. I said, you're crazy. That's the reason why it's so expensive now, is because if you can be college educated and still not forget your means, because I started working in the fields. I was picking cotton when I was 5 or 6 years old. My mom made my own satchel, and I was picking cotton when I was a kid, and that's the way we ate. I mean, we didn't eat because when I grew up, my parents didn't have social services. California didn't have them in those days. No unemployment, no. You couldn't qualify because you never had started a regular job with Social Security. And my parents used my Social Security. My dad fought in World War II to his two brothers. Even my grandfather was in World War One as a draftee. So I tell students, they got to know where you come from.
Could I ask you, because this is one of the things I instilled in my kids, and I said, listen, I'm all for you going to college, and I want you to go to college, and I'm willing to pay up to a certain point. I said, this is where I stop paying for college. The rest is up to you. You need to figure it out. That's the part of being an adult, and that was my cutoff point. I gave them the first 2 years. I'd help them, and then after that, it's up to you. I don't want to hear that you can't afford it. It's your problem. You need to figure it out. You're an adult. Learn it. And the reason why I did that is because I told them, make sure that you pick careers-based learning. So whatever you choose in college, make sure that in the end of the day, when you graduate, you can walk out and say, give me a job in that, and there's jobs in that. Don't you dare graduate in linguistic arts of like some a Latin language that has been, dead for 30 years or 100,000 years. You're not going to find a job in that. You better learn from STEM. You better get a STEM degree. You better get something. If you're not getting that, you're wasting your time in college. In my mind, this is again my opinion. You're wasting your time. If you're going to go learn, the Zulu dancing of the Zulu tribe in Africa, and that's what you got your degree in, you're not going to find a job here in the United States with that. So you need to go run. You got to go find something else.
Actually, that's not always true. There's a friend of mine who's a bread guy who retired with 35 years working for Rainbow Bread. And he went to UCLA, got a degree in microbiology research. And he ended up retiring from a bread company because he said that the job that he was doing for the company that he was doing his research, it wasn't. He didn't like it, and he got out of it. And I don't know. Right now, he's about 70. He's probably about a few years older than I am, but he's like almost 70. And he's bought 4 or 5 houses. He owns them all. He only has one daughter. Just became a grandfather with twins last year, and he's doing really well because the job that he was making and the job that he had, he lived within his means. He saved a lot more. He invested in buying another house. He took equity and started learning, learning as you go along. the college helped him because he made contacts. See, college is not just learning just a subject. It's also making connections and learning from people's different cultures and their approaches, and you learn from the people. There's a saying in Spanish, I know you probably have heard it too. You hang around with a bunch of thieves, you know, you're gonna be a thief. But you know, it's just like when they say, "I'll tell you who you are by the people you hang around with." So there's a lot of there's a lot more education than just learning a subject in college, and I'm trying to tell the kids that. And especially when they go to like a community college, it's gonna improve your wealth. I mean, I went from working in the fields, working in a grocery store, and I spent 25 years working in retail. I went to work for large corporations like Pepsi and Target, and I became a commercial and store managers. And then in the middle of it, I got tired of working for retail for 25 years. I was 43 at the time. I got my degree in teaching, and I went to teaching for 20 years. So education is a step up in exposure. Learning isn't just like for me in the computer. YouTube's great for me to fix something, you know, submersible pumps, you know, growing vegetables or fixing my truck or anything. You know, it's just that if people don't want to expand their horizons, college is one of the ones that exposes you to cultures that's different than yours. Exposure, like I going to dinner. Sometimes I didn't know how to go to dinner because my parents never took us out. You know, I went to a real fancy restaurant in San Francisco. This guy hands me a basket. I take the basket. I thought it was tortillas. It wasn't. It was a cold fork for my salad. I didn't know. It was just a little fancy what I'm used to.
So I've got the other side of that spectrum, and here's my experiences, right? So I have a friend of ours that she got practically a doctor's degree in English and writing or something to that, and ended up working at a very large store here called Marshall Fields as a cashier. And that's what she was doing. And I'm sitting there scratching my head going like, that's what you're doing with your degree? Wow, that's messed up. But I said, you know, maybe it's this person's experience. So now you're talking to me, right? And I'm a high school dropout. My mom dropped me out at 14 because I had to work because my dad died, and I had to make money for the family. Social Security wasn't enough.
Right.
And right around when I was about 15 and a half, 16, I'm like, if I got 3 jobs at 15, why am I living at home giving these guys all my money? I'll go live by myself. And I left home. I ran away from home, got my first apartment at 16, and raised myself after that. Got to the point where I got my GED, went to community college, was completely I don't know what to say. I was completely embarrassed by the whole situation. I said, this is horrible. Went and got my certificates, and I had jobs, of course. I had different jobs during that time, but I went and got my certificates to become a network engineer, and I'm a network engineer now. But I had, you know, I'm a high school and college dropout, and I'm a network engineer where guys have gone and gotten their masters to become network engineers, and I'm right along with them. The only difference between me and them is that I've got my experience down where they had to go to school for that time. And yes, the jobs are usually pretty quick to make those people managers, but they usually have zero experience because they've never been in the field. So there's two sides of this. It really depends where and what you're going to decide to do in college, and with that college, I think that makes you successful. And I think some people just don't learn the same way. Like for me, some of the stuff that I was getting in college, I'll give you another experience. Right, I wanted to become an art major. I'm a pretty good artist. I draw, I paint. I wanted to become a comic book artist, and I was actually one of the star students at the little community college that they had. But in the middle of the class, my teacher walks in, the professor walks in, and says, "Guys, you all got A's. You can all leave. Don't come back to class no more. I just got laid off. They're doing away with the art department." And he comes and grabs me and says, "Ed, go downstairs right now. I know you got a family to support. Art ain't gonna do it. And I know you're working 2 jobs and coming to college. Go downstairs and change your major to computer information systems." And I went and changed my major to computer information systems, and I did that and was doing those classes for a little bit. And lo and behold, my friend talked to MCI, which is a telephone company, and said this guy knows, he's working with lasers right now, and he's going to college for computer information systems, which I had only been going for a few months. And they hired me, and there goes, I just kept going up the ladder then, took my tests and certificates, and now I make as much as people that have, 2 master's degrees or a master degree. So I just really think it depends on what you do with what you got, because some people, I've seen them go to college and spend 10 years and they're not, they didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, well, on that point, a lot of the drawbacks of college is made by choices. When you have student debt and you pile on student debt, you should, and if you're partying all the time, or if you're not adapting yourself to the highest form of attention to your details of your schooling, there's a lot of distractions. I tell my kids, quit buying so many things, save that money, but like my son-in-law, he's a veteran, so he gets all his classes free. He went to chef school already. He wants to open his own restaurant, and but some of his physical ailments, have prevented him from doing any more. Physically, he can't do a lot because he got hit pretty hard in the service, and he spent 8 years in Iraq and Afghanistan and Kuwait. And so when I tell the kids, always look like tomorrow. Even if you take 2 steps back, you got to take 2 steps forward. Even if you're in the same place, but as long as you're going forward. And I tell you, kids get as much education, and I tell them, education is not just going to school. It's education that everything you see someone, you talk to them, you learn from them, you pick their brains. Anytime the guys come out here, or the cable guys come out here, or our power company comes out, I ask them questions. I ask them what kind of tools they use. The frequencies. I used to be a CB in home radio operator, and I still am fixing my own cars. Even Kate knows that I have more than one talent, and I draw and I read a lot of classic books. A lot of people don't read anymore, and it's funny because if people are not exposed. And that's what the college is: exposure to things that you're not going to be experiencing on your own. And sometimes that will lead you to opportunities. Like there's a cousin of mine. He's a helicopter pilot. He's in his 70s, and he's still flying for the Cal Forest, flying water drops. He's in the 70s. And of course, he's got to, pre-qualify and requalify again. But he's still working. I don't think I'm going to retire myself because it's kind of quiet when we haven't been able to work since school, of the COVID thing.
Yeah, so I'll tell you a reason that I did that to my kids is because I wanted to see if they had las ganas, as we say in Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Las ganas, the drive to really do it. Because I've seen guys go all the way and become doctors and hate their job, just like you mentioned before. The guy who finished his stuff and was working for that company and was not happy. Look at all that time and money you invested in college to do what you didn't want to do. I would much rather I used to like the theory, and I call it a theory because it became a business after a while, but DeVry, right? The theory of DeVry, the school that would say, you come here for 4 years of school, a technical school, and you have a job coming out. And you were going there with the focus of, I will have a job. And some people graduated and didn't have jobs. There was a whole lawsuit that happened and all that stuff. But that's the piece that I think is like, if I went to college again, if I was at that age, I would say, listen, I'm all for paying up to $100,000 in college fees, but I have to have a guarantee that when I graduate, there's going to be a job for me because you taught me what I needed to know to have a true job and a way to survive and pay for my family. And I think some people are graduating, like you said, some people are partying, some people are wasting away their time when they should be doing other things, and maybe even learning from themselves, saying, oops, I took a major in camera editing when there's no jobs in camera editing. I don't know. I'm just coming up with a subject, but I should maybe refocus myself and change change to something where there is a job, like stem cell research. And they're not doing that. And they're just partying, and they're growing up, and they're getting upset because they're living in their 40s in grandma's house still without a job. And I'm seeing a lot of that.
You see, and the thing that's kind of like my philosophy, because where I grew up poor. Not poor, I would say working poor. Let's put it that way. And I worked in the fields, and I worked with people in really low income jobs. We lived in a nicer neighborhood, but that was because we sacrificed, vacations and fancy cars. It wasn't deprived. It was just more limited, living within your means. Let's put it that way. And nothing fancy. And then when I went to college, I was out of place because I wasn't used to going to movies every weekend and dating and all that stuff. And then when I started working with people working in, well, I've been to Minneapolis, I've been to Texas, Fort Worth, Phoenix, where I built stores for Target, and we built the stores, we gutted them out like the old Gemco stores, the stores a long time ago. But we used to gut them out, and then we had refurbish them inside. So I had to learn about construction, which I never knew anything about, other than home, not commercial, just residential. But commercial was way different. Refrigeration for freezers. It was just a whole bunch of stuff that I had to learn, and then those all applied because when it happened to my house, my refrigerator, or my car for refrigeration or something, or fixing something at my dad's place, I knew what to do. A lot of people don't pay attention when they walk away. Even appliances. I fix my own appliances, washer and dryer. My wife said, "Oh, it broke, so we need to get a new pair." I said, "Buy another pair. Geez, the ones you want are like $1,000 each." And I said, "No, this is good enough." So I went on YouTube, looked it up. That's what I tell my kids. Always figure out what to do to fix something. Or ask somebody,
You're gonna love my channel and how I talk about Makita as my tool, because the reason why I like Makita is because it's used worldwide, and worldwide people don't have money. Unlike here in the States, where when a Milwaukee or DeWalt or certain tools break, they just go and replace it because it broke and it's another $100. I got $100. In other countries, they don't have that kind of money, so they will buy the part and fix the tool, or take it to the local tool shop and fix it. And that's one of the reasons I like Makita, and I fix my own tools, and that's the brand I use. But there's also another comment here that I wanted to mention. Juan Velasquez says, work isn't meant to be enjoyable. It's meant to provide for your loved ones. If you can work and provide doing something you love, great. If not, just be the best at what you can do for work. Now, I want to say that I kind of agree to a point with this, because most of my life, even now, I'm doing something that supports my family very well, and not just my family, but money I send to other loved ones. Doing something I didn't necessarily choose or think I was ever going to get into, and make pretty decent coin in it. I would have been a comic book artist, and probably starving artist till my late 50s, according to many comic book artists' careers. I agree with this, because if it were not for being hungry and testing the waters and different things, I'm now doing a job that sometimes I really don't like. I don't like subnetting and figuring out network equipment and figuring out how things work and solving everybody's problems. But that's what engineers do, and that's what I have to do. And, when you start getting good at it and you compliment it quite a bit, you start liking it. In the end, I'm just happy that I can support my family. And people have forgotten that. They're like, "Oh, I want to be a zoologist because a zoologist is great." Well, not understanding that there's only a finite number of zoologists, and there's a whole bunch of other people needed in another field. But because that's what you wanted in your teens and 20s, now you're there and you're like, "Oops, I can't find the job in it." Or there's jobs, but I don't qualify and can't get in with the crowd, or whatever's happening, right? Yeah. I should have gone to this crowd instead, where there's tons of jobs. Yeah, you may hate your job, but loving your job is not all about life. Supporting your family is what's important. At least that's where I come from. That's how I was raised, and a little bit
That reminded me of a skit that I saw on, actually it was a movie. It was called The Magnificent Seven. And Charles Bronson was followed by these three little peons, kids, they were Mexicanos. And they were saying,
I know the movie well.
Yeah, and there's one part where the kids will talk to Charles Bronson's character and says, "My father is a coward," and he grabs the kid and puts him over his knee and spanks him and says, "Don't you ever don't you ever tell anyone your parents are cowards. They provide a home for you. They work. They take everything that they work poorly but they work hard and they provide you a life. Don't that takes more hard work and more respect than I could ever do. I have a gun. I can kill people, and that doesn't mean anything. But the people that take care of you, that's where we lost part of our foundation. With the kids that I work with, because most of my kids, well, not all of them, but they live in a gangbang area where I teach, and a lot of the kids are really good, but they know how to deal with living in a hard area, low income. Both parents are working full-time jobs and probably two, and so they always tell me, "Mr. Gutierrez, you're really hard. You're hard." I said, "You know why? Because la vida is hard." And I said, you need to find out that when your parents come home, the dishes should be done, the car should be washed, the lawn should be cut, the clothes should be put away, clothes are hung after drying, for washing. You should be helping your parents out. Yeah, but it's the school. I said, no. School's not that tough. You help your parents out. And I had a couple parents tell me, I don't know what you told my kid, but I come home and I don't have to do extra stuff. Feed my kids, dinner's ready. The girls know how to cook. There's some girls that don't cook because they spend more time on the phone.
Right.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So now my family kind of sees me, like sometimes they scratch their head like, "Dad, sometimes you don't even start work until 10 a.m. Sometimes I stay till midnight working sometimes I pull full 24-hour shifts. So just know that when things happen, I got to be there. But sometimes I have an easy day. I start work till 10, get off at 4. That's part of having a corporate America job sometimes, right? You get that freedom. And they're like, "Wow, you got an easy job." I'm like, "Ha! You know how many years it took of me killing myself to get to this point, to prove to the point that I'm at, to make the money that I'm at." And it kills me because sometimes, and I'm not ragging on the young kids that are coming out of college, but sometimes these young people that come out of college say, "I've spent 8 years or 5 years or 4 years in college. I want your job." It's like, "No, man, you don't get to have my job. I've been at this 20 plus years. 25 years.
Carrie Baxter wants to know, wow, which state were you in again? I don't know who she's asking, though.
I want to say, I think she's asking you because of your teaching style. I think, yeah.
I'm in California.
Yeah, so I kind of like, there's that piece that people forget, that there's a lot of hard work to go in. And if you're going to do anything, put 100% into it, and you reap what you sow. And a lot of people don't understand that. They just want it given to them, here handed. It ain't going to be handed, man. You got to earn it. I'm happy that you're doing that with your kids. I'm glad that you're teaching them that, because la vida is hard. Life is hard. And people need to understand that it is not this TikTok and these magazines, and it isn't like these rappers are putting it. It is.
Most of my students say that they want to become either rappers or professional sports professional people, or they want to be an actress or a singer. I said, those are great. Those are all great avenues. But it's like, I coach sports too. And most of my students, who are playing the sport that I coach, they always say, "Well, how good am I?" He said, "Well, you're not Division I material. I can tell you that right now."
Right. Look at that, Hector. That nerd analyst. Okay. Yeah. Didn't you hear children are now born with a phone embedded in their hand and their eyes glued to the screen?
Well, you just
that just about sums it up. Okay, that about sums it up.
But
instead of hey, look, the old saying is, some kids are born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Okay, that's not the saying anymore. I'm sorry, that's not the saying anymore. The new saying is, kids come out of their mama with a cell phone in their hand. Okay, and that's almost a fact, Jack. You know,
But
because
here's
when
another
they
thing.
2 years old, a 2-year-old, a 3, 4, 5-year-old can show you how to use a cell phone better than you know how to do it.
But here's another thing too. I've seen it myself with my own family members, where the parents will use a phone or a tablet to keep them occupied so they can do their stuff. They don't know how to put
Right.
time with the kids, or you tell them, "Hey, go do a chore." You know,
Oh yeah. Hey, look. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I
they need
agree
a
with you
chore. They
there.
need chores. They need chores.
Look, I had chores when I was a kid. Okay. Hey, go do this. Go do that.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, I had games. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
board games like Monopoly, or I even had
I even play checkers.
that $6 million man game. Okay, the $6 million man. I had that board game. When I was a kid. I think I was, I don't know, 8 years old or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, uh, you tell the kids to go, hey, help me out outside over here. Oh no, I'm on the phone with somebody or I'm texting. No, that wasn't like that when I was born and raised. Okay,
Right.
no, no. And my granddaughter, I do spoil her in a way. In a way, I spoil my granddaughter, and she's been in many of my videos, my live streams or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But she does not have the privilege of that at all times. At all times.
And I have the same philosophy with I have 3 grandkids. One's going to be 9. The other one just turned 2. But well, I even took him to the ranch, and he helps me cut wood. We
There
had
you
to
go.
fix fences,
Right.
and he likes it because he's outside. He enjoys seeing the cattle and the horses, and the funny thing is that he every once in a while he forgets his PS4, and he brings it with him, and the whole weekend we're doing he likes cooking, so we encourage him to cook with us. We'll make pancakes or enchiladas or something like that. And my granddaughter, she likes to write and draw. At 2 years old, she knows how to make a circle, a square, and a triangle. At 2, at
Uh
2, I was still playing with blocks, wood.
Yeah, blocks and triangles and all that stuff. All those old games. Look, Hasbro, and what's the other gaming company? Uh, it was Hasbro and another one that taught kids how to do stuff. Somebody refreshing my memory here.
I'm trying to remember. Mattel's the other one I can think of.
Mattel. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's another one. But you say, okay, now Ed, the old tech guy, he's like,
Fisher Price.
Fisher Price.
Mm.
Fisher Price. Yeah, because me and you are older than Ed, the old tech guy. So.
By a lot.
And then Lemonhead Penny's like up there, huh?
I'm almost 50.
Milton Bradley.
Bradley.
Yeah, Milton Bradley.
I'm almost
Yeah.
50, guys. I'm almost 50.
Almost.
Oh, okay. Well, you were almost in. You almost in
Ed,
that zone.
I got boots 50 years old.
Yeah, Milton Bradley. Yeah. Well, what was the little the one that you put the baby in? Like say 8-month-old baby in, and when they would scoot with their feet, and on the dashboard of their little scooter, it had the things that would pop up, and they would hit it with their hands like that.
Mm-hmm. Talking about old stuff, when I was a kid, when I was in high school, I met these people. Well, my mom's visa tias, and they were already in their 90s in 1970s. You know, in the 1970s when I was in high school,
Wow.
and they were 90 years old already. And they were telling me stories. And at the time, that little town that my mom is from, um, there's no electricity in the house. There's no sewage. There's no telephones. They had one telephone in the whole town, and everybody had make an appointment for us to call. You know, letters was a big thing. I had an aunt that her thing was that she wrote letters to everybody. Every night she wrote a letter to someone, or two or three. And that's a lost art too. Now we just do emails. But there's a guy that I met through my dad's family as a young kid. Here's a guy. He went to World War II. He was in the Navy. I'm sorry, Coast Guard, and he was an itinerant farmer. He went from Texas to Michigan to Washington, Oregon to California, through Mexico, New Mexico, and back to Texas. And they'd do it every year for years as a kid. And then they landed in Madeira somehow. They met my grandparents. They invited him in, got him a place to stay, got them a job to work with in the fields, and then they started working in the lumber industry. And their parents are buried here. His parents are buried there, and also his brother just passed away last year. He's 94 years old, and he contacted me because he wanted to talk, to Dad. And he talked to Dad, and then Dad wasn't very good because he had a hearing aid and didn't work really well with him. To this day, 4 years later, I'm still talking to him. He's 94. He has his zest for life. And the main thing was, here's a guy who was from Texas. His parents didn't have any education, but he went to Harvard University and got a degree in psychology as a doctor.
Wow.
And he had some stories he tells you about how hard it was. He had to work twice as hard. His papers were always critiqued to the finest point, and he was always saying that he had to work twice as hard at everything just because he wasn't supposed to be there, and that made him more of a push. Well, I tell my students the same thing. Says if you don't go where you're not wanted and you don't survive, you're not gonna make it where it's easy. That's why I said life is hard.
Yeah,
there's some people that never get out of that.
My dad always said, I don't want to, let's see how he said that. He had a certain saying on it. He says, I don't want to live old, but I don't want to die young. And he says, my dad lived to be 81.
Wow.
And
that's awesome.
So I think he was kind of meaning something like in between. I don't want to live old, like as far as I don't want to be nobody taking care of me, where you got to wipe my butt or whatever, but I don't want to die young neither. So he died at 81 years old.
Now, I was lucky. I saw my dad.
I'm pretty sure he meant that's what, that's a good age to die at 81.
Well, my friend who's 94, he said he's not ready to die because he's living right now in assisted living. He has his own place and is living with his wife, and they come in to clean house, and they come in. It's a large complex, but his house,
Right.
he's got a little apartment, or I should say, like a mother-in-law's house on the side or in the back, and there's all these houses. He's 94. He's not ready to die. He told me that the other day. I was on the phone with him Saturday. He says, I ain't ready to die. I said, I want to still do things, and see things. He still drives. He's 94 years old.
Hey, Cajun. I gotta call it a night, bro. It's 2:47. I still got to get up to work, and I got my little girl here reminding me. Come here, say hi real quick. She fighting me too much. She's fighting me too much.
Oh, okay.
She's ready for me to go to bed. She's bugging me to go to bed. So I gotta get going. Say bye, Twix. Bye, Twix.
Yeah.
Say bye, Twix.
All right, Ed.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was very
I'm
nice
gonna
meeting
head
you,
out of
Hector.
here. I'm
Same
gonna
here.
head out of here too. Mrs. cooking some goulash, or hash. So I'll catch you later,
Take care,
Ed.
guys. Take care,
And
guys. That was
the reason why I haven't been on too much Cajun is because my regular computer. I don't know how my granddaughter did it, but she uh, messed up on my internet. I can't get my internet to be recognized on my computer, so I'm gonna have to take it to the shop. I'm using my wife's right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
maybe Ed, the old tech guy, could help you with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna add him on too because did
Yeah,
you put
because
up his
he's
link? Let's see. So what you've been up to?
trying to get used to this heat. Trying to get used to this heat.
Not like California.
Well, all right. I'm gonna jet out too.
Okay, I should go to bed anyway. I got to get up early in the morning.
Well,
Yeah, it's
everybody,
pretty
look,
rough, yeah.
Hector, I appreciate you coming up, bud.
No, I'm glad you invited me.
Yeah, I'm glad you showed up because I was talking about you before you even showed up. I was talking about you.
I know. I thank you.
Yeah, so your
Same here.
ears were ringing.
It must have been. Okay, good, Cajun. You have a nice night. Rest well. Oh, I'm gonna have, before you leave. How's your health? I mean, is it been recuperating
That's what
back?
I was saying earlier. I got to get used to this heat. You
Yeah.
know, I didn't even do what I wanted to. Selling watermelons or whatever because man, it's hot and I don't know. It's the heat just gets to me now.
Are you drinking a lot of water?
Yeah, a lot of fluids. A lot of fluids.
Okay.
It's I don't know. Summertime. I love the summer. I love the heat. I
Mm-hmm.
can't stand the cold. I love the heat. But now the heat's getting to me. So,
Yeah,
all right, everybody.
I just added them right now.
Love, peace, and
Crackling.
crackling grease. We'll catch y'all later.
Okay, good
Do
night,
yours.
everybody. Everybody in chat, good night.